catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
The room today. I am so excited to be here today. We are starting out on Wednesday, January 10th. Oh, we got a good one for you now. We got something good. And guess what? I don't have to do this by myself. I don't have to do this by myself. I got some help, y'all. I got some help. I got a co-host for this one, y'all. So let me go ahead and hurry up and bring him up in the room. Where you at, Anthony? You with me?
Hey, I'm here. How you?
Good. Listen, I'm so excited. So this is going to be good. You know, I had the picture up there to let people know what we are going to do. This all started out with some Facebook posts and some questions and people just having conversation, grown folk conversation. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show it to you once again. It's right there. It was, you know, we're going to call this the Grown Folk Podcast, the Grown Folk Podcast. And we're going to have some conversation for you guys. And Anthony, before we get started, a lot of people have seen me. They've seen me on this thing called Storytime. They know what this is. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been here before, I want you to know this is Storytime. And Storytime is where human beings connect through life experiences, right? And the crazy thing is now we're shifting for this particular conversation to talk about dating experiences, something that men and women tend to do all throughout their life, but we're having a conversation with the grown folks, like 50 and up. And I had somebody, Anthony, said, can I join? I think she was like 44. So I said, yeah, come on, because we got some mature people too. So talk to me about what you think about this. First, introduce yourself and then tell the people why you think this is going to be a great conversation to start having.
My name is Anthony Wade Sr. I'm a singer, producer, songwriter, do a little stand-up comedy. I've been in North Carolina since '99. Oh, yeah, you didn't know that part, huh?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've been in North Carolina since '99 by way of Michigan. This will be a great topic and very interesting because of all the ups and downs, trials and tribulations that we go through during the dating escapades, I should say, because there's a lot of games out there and, you know, tricks and a whole lot of stuff out here for you people that's trying to date, trying to fall in love. Ooh, so we got it for you tonight.
Wow. And definitely is going to be interesting. And we're going to invite some people to come in the room. I see a couple people asked me for the link, so I'm going to send the link to them so they can join for sure. And
come on in the room.
Yeah, I want to know comedy. You do some comedy? When you been holding out? I ain't know about that. When you do comedy?
Well, I started doing stand up back in '90 when I was in Michigan. I did it for a year and a half, and then kind of stopped for a while. But I walk around. I'm comedic all day long. So.
Wow. So you got to tell me a joke. I need a joke.
That's the part that I hate. You tell somebody that the first thing they say, well, tell me a joke, make me laugh.
Yeah. So I mean, have you ever done stand-up comedy in a club or something like that in a setting?
Yes. In Michigan, we had a comedy club that I started off in, and I did some around Lansing in the comedy clubs. I went to Detroit, did in comedy clubs. Actually, I did Charlie Goodnights a couple of times down here.
Wow. And how did that go? How did they receive
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. They the owner wanted me to come back, but at that time I wasn't I write my own material and everything. So when I can't write as fast as I want to, then I kind of back off. But yeah,
I
it was a
did
good
not
time.
know that. Wow, I did not know that you did stand-up comedy. That is
Hmm.
a new one for me, for real, for real. Okay,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
All right. So the dating conversation. There are so many podcasts, Facebook pages, Facebook groups. There's so many out there, and I know that I started out and I put some things on the page, and it's an interesting conversation. But I think that as we get older, I've been seeing that ain't nothing changed. People still play games. People still play games.
Yes. 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 Nothing's changed except our age.
So I am, let me see. I have a young lady that asked for the link and I was trying to send it to her. There were some questions that we put out there. And what do you think is the reason why many people have issues in dating? Before we even get into the questions, what do you think is the reason that there's such a lack of communication and success in relationships sometimes?
Well, one can be the knowledge of, a lot of people that grow up in, broken homes where they didn't see parents hugging, kissing, loving, the loyalty and dedication to each other. So the knowledge of how to do it and how to sustain it is one problem. Another, I think, is, we play games with each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Men play games with the women, and then we mess y'all up, and then you don't trust anymore, and then y'all start playing games back on us and mess us up, and then we're both messed up, so we don't trust each other, and it's just all a mess. So, and it goes back to trust and understanding and communication. If we can't talk to each other and trust each other, what do you have?
Very, very true. Uh, I am passing this on to some people that ask me if they want to get in the conversation to come on in.
Come on in the room. Come on in the room.
And let me let them know that what this is all about. Okay. So and I see Fatima out there. Fatima asked me for the link too. I'm trying to send the link to everybody who wants to come on in here just to get the conversation started. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to leave nobody out. If everybody has a conversation about why I had a couple people, y'all. So y'all forgive me while we're doing this. Um, I'm going to add some interesting clips from individuals. I think by next week we can get some clips because I think there's some good. There's a couple of couples that I know that
Mm-hmm.
wanted to come on and share how they were successful in dating, and so I think that's also going to be good. And let's look at some of these questions because we had some questions that were really good, and I want to look at some of these questions and really kind of see what one of them was that I thought was really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And there were just so many. All right. Um, that's one that I saw somebody talk about. Now, the question that we put it out on Facebook, and a lot of people ask this question: how long is too long to text when you're over 50 before you meet a person in the same city? How long is too long? Now, I'm gonna also go through the thread, but the question is, and I'm gonna type it in the chat so when I remove the picture, they'll be able to see it. How
Mm-hmm.
long is too long to text before you meet the person?
Hmm.
So, what you think about that, Anthony? How long do you think is too long?
Good question. Good question. Uh, Texting in the same town. Well, to start off, to meet somebody, fill out your chemistry, feel your likes, um, I don't know, a day or two. You right here in town. If you decide pretty much that you like a person or you don't like them, within me a few texts, you know.
So
So
you're a man.
to be,
I'm gonna ask you this because you're a man. So
mm,
what if they don't do that? What if they don't act like they want to meet you? They just want to talk to you. They just want to text you. Then it should the women be concerned if the man is not trying to take it off of the internet or off of the cell phone and they're not trying to meet you? I mean, is that a red flag?
I think so. I think that's a big red flag. That says a lot. And then that gets into communication. What exactly are you looking for? What are you trying to do? What's the means of this texting? You know, what are we trying to do with this? Because if you're right in town, you know, you can always go to Starbucks, meet up at Starbucks, have coffee, lunch, what have you. So that's, you know, to meet someone face to face is not an excuse. That's a big red flag.
So would you say then that there's a question that people are not asking when they first meet? When you first meet someone, should you find out what the goal is? Should that be a question up front? Like, what is the goal? Like, hey, how you doing? You know what, young lady, I think you look good. You know, young man, oh, I like those shoes, or like whatever. You pay each other compliment. Should we be asking each other what is the goal? Like, why are we here? Why are you complimenting me? I mean, you attracted to me. What is it you looking for? Should we be asking that question?
I think that'll come out during the conversation. You know, you don't want to seem too thirsty. You know, what you looking for? What you want to do? At least, you know, that's how I feel. That'll come out during the conversation, either through in the text or when you meet each other. You know, through the communication.
Hmm. Okay, so let me rephrase the question. I don't mean seem thirsty like when they approach you in the restaurant or if wherever they meet you. But what I do mean is that you met this individual, right? They're talking to you, they're texting you. What is the best way for a woman to ask the man, like, would you like to meet in person without seeming thirsty? I mean, is it appropriate for her to ask, or should we wait till the young man says, you know what, I think I'm ready to meet you?
Me myself, I like aggressive women because for me that lets me know where they're coming from, what they want, what they're looking for. You know, so that doesn't bother me. So I like that. So I don't think that would make her thirsty. It just depends on how she once you meet her, how what comes out after that. Will it be more thirsty? Because I've had some that's been like, you know, and kind of pushed me away. Be like, I think I left a turkey in the oven. I got to go home.
Wow, because you know, like there's this big conversation about the alpha women, right? Men don't want the alpha women; they want her to be softer. So, wouldn't that seem to be kind of aggressive if they did that?
Well, for me, an alpha woman and a semi-aggressive woman is different. An alpha woman is going to try to be in control all the time and run everything and be the man, castrate you in a lot of ways. An aggressive woman is she's just letting you know what she wants, or you know, right off the bat. This is what I want. This is where I want to go, and this is who I want to be, or this is who I am. Uh, so I see that in an alpha woman differently. I can handle that. An alpha woman so much.
Okay, so
You,
I'm coming to Facebook now because I know that people are asking for the link. So y'all bear with me. I'm trying to bring the link. Here's the link to join live. If you want to join the conversation live, I just put the link in the comments. If you want to join the conversation live, click the link I just put on my Facebook page in the comment, and you can come on in the studio and join the conversation. All right. Again, if you're trying to come on camera, click the link I just put in the comment. All right. Now, if you're trying to watch us, then go to YouTube. But if you're trying to join the conversation, I just put a link on my Facebook page and I'm trying to respond to the people texting me and sending links. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get these folks to link. And it will not be the same link each time because in doing this, it's not possible. I wish it was a little bit easier, but it's not possible. So Fatima, I just put the link in the comments. I also sent it to you. All right. All right. So now what is something, because we had a question. Let me go to another question we had here. We had a question that I thought was pretty cool. And that is this question right here, where we ask people, which is more important? This was a real good one. And I'm going to go to the question that on Facebook and how people answered this question. Which is more important, physical attributes or character, and why? I'm going to type it in here so you can see it. Which is more important? And I'm giving people time to come in here because they hit me up. Physical attribute and why?
Character by
All right,
far.
so that's the question. That's the question we're asking right now. And I'm gonna I want to hear what you have to say about that, and I'm gonna go to the post and I'm gonna tell you some things that some people said on that one right there, because there were some good ones on that one. But what's your answer to that, Anthony?
Character by far. Character is who you are. Um, you're always attractive to somebody is always attractive to you. You can be walking through the mall down the street and see somebody attractive. But there's an old song by the Temptations, "Beauty's only skin deep," and that's the true song. So character, that tells you who the person is, what they believe in, good, bad.
So
What you think?
Looks it is not the most important thing, even though people say I have to be attracted to the person. Yes, that's true, but I do agree with you about character. Character goes a long way. So let me tell you what some people said, and you out there in the audience, you can definitely talk about it. So one young lady said, you have to love yourself. Okay, I see Fatima. She done came up in the room. Come on in here, girl. Come on in here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I need you to give me a little bit more light. Give me some more light. I did a big old post about that. I said, y'all make sure y'all got that light for me. One of the
The
things that one,
flashlight down on you.
let me see. Let me get this out of the face. I don't want this to be in your face. Let me take this out of here. Give me 1 second. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, I'm doing good. So one of the things I just asked Fatima was a question about why or which is most important, physical attributes and why. And I'm going to read a couple of comments that some people said. One young lady said, you have to love yourself in mind, body, and spirit. It said, what's most important is that you are beautiful and kind on the inside, and it shows on the outside. A young man said, in my humble opinion, character is clearly most important. It speaks to exactly who a person is, whether they have integrity or if they are trustworthy or not. Physical attributes fade away in time. It said no one is the Adonis they were in their 20s. So at 50 plus, we have, for example, gained weight or maybe lost hair. However, a 50 plus character never goes away and is seen around the world. So we know what we know and are unwilling to tolerate drama and nonsense, regardless of how cute you might think you are. So over time, our character has been nurtured, is developed, and is refined. And in most cases, we blossom into radiant flowers. And he said, we want bees floating around, not flies. Wow.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
That was
What you
great.
say? What you say to that, Fatima?
I agree. I think clearly, growing up and reaching maybe 30, even possibly 35, you're still looking for, obviously they'd have to be pleasant to the eye. So we are looking for nice looking. We are looking for well dressed, well groomed. We're looking for those things, but in my opinion, 50 plus is not so much as your outer appearance, but your inner appearance, and your inner being, your inner essence. Who you are is on the inside. Who you are is not going to it's not going to be on the outside. I don't care how dope you dress, how fly you are, how much your shoes cost. That doesn't mean anything to me at 50 plus. Whereas at 25, oh, he fine and look at his gators and all of that, you know. But the dynamics change as you get older.
And you know what? That's so true. When we were younger, we thought about that, right? It was so important. I like light skin, I like dark skin, but when you get older, you don't think as much. Were you thinking like that when you was younger too, Anthony?
Well, I was all over the place when I was younger, so every once in a while, it didn't matter if you was light skinned, dark skinned. It didn't matter who was being easy and freaky. So, but as I got older, then it became important. It became important what they really look like. That it changed to what they look like and what they were wearing and what they had, and then that even changed to, to character. As I got older, I changed and grew up a little more. My thoughts changed, and it became character. Because you have to live with that character the rest of your life. Like the young man said on the text, the beauty in the body fades. Sometimes we end up in a wheelchair. So, what do you have then? Your character.
So let me tell you what another person said. This young lady said, I believe both. And this is why physical attributes can be characterized as the natural born you, or who and what you have chosen to become as a person mentally and physically throughout your life. You can be healthy, neat, and clean because you care about your appearance. Or you can be messed up from the floor up because you don't care. So, I mean, that makes sense. She says, my daughter's a mental health therapist, and she reminds me that you have to pay close attention to people's mental state and recognize the subtle red flag. That's when character attributes come in. When in a relationship, you have to pay attention to certain characteristics that you might question silently, whether you're male or female. Interesting. So a lot of people said character. So character is definitely on the top of the list. And it's interesting because somebody said both sunshine and rain keeps you covered.
Amen. It's true.
So that's interesting. So what she's trying to say is you need them both. You need them both. Wow. That's interesting.
That's true, because you can't grow without one or the other. You have to experience them both to grow and make changes.
I mean, and it's all about personal preferences too, because for some people, with maturity, what looked good to you, at 40 might not look so good at 50
Might
and
not
vice
look good
versa.
at 50.
And the other way around too. At 50, you might have liked your man to be could have wanted your man to be stout, could have wanted him to be skinny. It doesn't matter. But then a decade later, you're looking at him like, you know what, he's gained weight, but I like this weight, so I mean it changed. So it's all about your personal preference. Some people like them slender, some people like them built, so we can't just go with the outer appearance and the outer appearance alone.
I'm glad you said that. We talk a lot about aging, and we talk a lot about how people don't have the conversation. There was a question I asked about, when do you ask about health? I don't think that question is asked enough. I don't think that topic is discussed enough when people are dating. Whether you ask somebody what their health condition is, or how they will respond to you if you have a situation. So, what do y'all think about that? Because I'm going to pull that up. The responses to that question was really, really good. What do you think about that, Anthony? Health. Is health a question that needs to be brought up on the first date?
I wouldn't say on the first date, but as I read that question, that was pretty good because that's something that I personally never thought of, as far as in a relationship. Because if I'm in love and in a relationship and my woman gets sick or unhealthy, that's still me. That's still a part of me. So I'm there regardless. So it really doesn't matter to me, but I can see where it would be a burden if someone was unhealthy because it takes on, you can look at more hospital costs, more doctor costs, insurance, and so forth and so on. But if you have someone that you love and you get along, your relationship is good, that's not
Now I see somebody
really a
knocking on
factor.
the door too. I see you, Keisha. Keisha, turn your camera on, and then I'll know that you're ready. Once I see you on camera, and I'll know that you're ready, and then bring you on up. Come on in the
So,
room, girl. Come on in the room.
so I'm driving. So I will probably be off. I mean, unless y'all just want to look at me, drive. But it's dark. It's dark where I'm at. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So,
well, that's
but
okay.
go
We're
ahead.
glad to have you join. We're glad to have you join. What made you want to get in the conversation tonight?
I think just more information. I think your presentation, your slide, that you posted earlier today, um, was just informational. And I know I've been following your questions, for the past few weeks, and so I just came on, to just for more, yeah, for more information, to
And
be a
then,
part,
and
Uh-huh.
and you are not quite 50 yet. You're about almost 50. And so it's
Right,
good that you
right.
want to learn. It's good that you want to get information because a lot of time people learn too late. Are you in a relationship right now?
I'm not, and so that's it. I'm single. I'm just date. I go on dates here and there. But no, I'm single, and I just think not necessarily learning, but constantly being in positive conversations around dating is beneficial to me. It eliminates all the trauma, that I've experienced, and it just it keeps me in a positive mode regarding dating.
Well, listen, I tell you what, we all learning. So don't think nothing of that when I said that because we all learning. I learn every
Yeah.
day.
Every
And
day.
because guess what? The dating world has changed. The dating world is not
Right.
what it used to be. In 2024, man, it's changed dramatically. So you have a man on the screen right now. So Keisha, let me ask you a question. First, I'll let you first introduce yourself, and then I'm going to give you the opportunity to be safe on the road, number one. And number two, to
Yes.
ask a question to the brother that we have on stage, since we have a man and his three women.
Oh well, yes. So my name is Kaisha Coachman, and I currently live in 2 hours ahead. So usually when forums like this go on, I'm usually on the go, because it's still early for me. It's almost 6:30 here, um, and I don't necessarily have any questions. I mean, I would try to prevent myself from calling you sir, out of respect, but um, yes, 'cause that's what I feel like saying. I don't have any questions for you, sir. But no,
Oh,
I am here. I think I said to you, Crystal, that my age range for dating is up to 55.
okay.
So it's 40. My age range is 40, and now as I'm getting away from 40, I'll probably be up in 40 and up to 55. And I'm just learning, from this age group, dating men over 50, that men are sitting there like there's no change in anyone at this stage. So it's like you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. It's like, and you just have to. That's what I'm learning from this, dating world, is that you got to learn to deal with people's icks and quirks and ticks, and yeah. So yeah, the
Wow.
question is, can you live with it? Can you live with it?
Wow. Wow. What you think? What
That's
you think about what she said, Fatima?
I definitely agree. I agree to an extent because no matter the age, change comes from within. So if you desire to, then that's up to you as a person to do that. But you do
Yes.
have to accept the people, all of us, we have to accept each other, um, and meet each other where we are. But then once we're in a relationship and we're deciding to make moves and go further together, it's both is up to the two to decide what that looks like between the two of you. But we all come set in our ways, but that do not mean that once you're a union that you won't be willing to do things differently because it's not about you anymore. I mean, my famous quote is what I live by is, I mean, I can do me by myself. So why would I be in a relationship which I consider to be a couple, but it's still me in a relationship? So a couple of forevers are supposed to be exactly that. And the changing and the being molded and made and groomed and prospering and all of that, that happens with each other, not someone in the relationship, but that mutually should happen, together. That's what being together is: growing, thriving, learning, and changing. Again, no matter how old you are, you're not exempt from changing, but that's not going to happen unless the person, decides and admits that there's things that need to be changing and that needs to be changed and is willing to do the work for that to happen. So hang on in there.
What you say?
Kaisha, 50-year-old, 55-year-olds, yes, they come who they are, but if your relationship is worth prospering together, there
They'll
should be some
change.
changes made. There should be some changes made, but it happens between the two of you.
Okay, I think she fell off because she's driving, so she did say that. Tanya, if you'd like to come in, uh, I can send you a message. I was trying to see how to send a message to you to allow you to come in the room. We have a young lady, Tanya Lindsay. Send me a message and let me know if you want to come on camera because I can send that to you. In the meantime, there were some other questions that we had asked that I thought were great. That was a good one. Dating at 50 plus, ladies, and I want to hear your take on this too, Anthony.
Hmm.
Physical affection or him complimenting you and saying I love you every day. What's more important? And Anthony, I'd like to hear from you as a man how important this is and what us women should really value more when it comes to this. Should we look more for a man to compliment us, or should we look more for the physical affection?
Hmm. I like to say that I cover it all. I like touching. I like the physical attraction. I like saying I love you. Uh, I like to think I'm an all around guy. I like to think I'm an all around guy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
loving. I'm caring. I'm passionate. But I can be that other guy at the drop of a dime. But I like it all. I like saying I love you. I like being touched. I like looking good. I like for my lady to look good. I like it all. Look good, smell good. I like it. So there's no one over the other. Give me the package.
But which one should we value more? Like some women may say, well, you didn't tell me I look good today. I got my hair done and you didn't notice. So sometimes women are sensitive because they want you to recognize those little things. So is it an oversight that women need to be concerned about when men don't notice?
uh, I would like to say we notice everything. Now, whether we say something about it, that's a different factor. But I think we notice everything. Uh, some men would compliment it. Some men might even get jealous. So it's down to the final actions of it all. And understanding your mate. Now, if your lady likes for you to tell her that you love her, she looks good, smell good, what have you, then that's what you have to cater to. Like my boy said, find 1,000 ways. So,
What do you prefer, Fatima?
My take is going to be totally different because we all have a love language. So for me personally, I need you to love me and treat me the way I desire because your desire might be different. So, the universal way is treat people the way they want to be treated or the way you want to be treated. And, a lot of people use that when they come to the table with who they are. They love you the way they know how to love. They do for you the way that they have always done. But that doesn't mean that that's your love language. You know what I mean? Women, a lot of women love flowers, some don't. Some women like fruit for Valentine's Day. Some women like chocolate, some don't. I ain't even really a chocolate girl, so that type of stuff don't really turn me on if you come with a big old box of chocolates for me. So finding out what your mate's love language is and what works for them. If she likes to be complimented and she shared that with you, make every opportunity to do that. Um, no one should have to ask for a man to say, you look nice today. If she look nice, tell her she look nice. Even if she's not expecting it, just give her that compliment. But if you know what she likes, then give her what she likes. And the same thing vice versa. When you know something about your man, his favorite cologne, or he likes, socks or watches or cars or whatever, give them what they want. So that's my take on them, finding each other's love language and not this whole universal, all women like this, all men like that, because as we know, that is so far from the truth. So, you got to give the people what they want.
So you brought up love languages. And for those of you who never heard of it, Dr. Gary Chapman did give us a list. He's a marriage counselor, and he came up with 5 different ways that he felt that people wanted to be loved. And according to his definition, with the love languages, he said 1 is words of affirmation. He said 2 is acts of service. 3 is receiving gifts. 4 is quality time. And then 5 is physical touch. So I'm going to say that again. Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So when we talk about those love languages there, the choices that we just gave, they would fall into 2 different categories. But Fatima made a valid point. Finding out what your person that you're dating prefers. And that all goes back to communication. Like, what are you asking when you first meet somebody? Like, what are you saying to them? There needs to be a new formula, I think, these days, because I think people are not getting to the right questions. And I think that's why people are wasting each other's time. What do you think about that, Anthony?
well, I like out of those 5, I like 1, 4, and 5. Those stuck out for me.
Words of affirmation.
hmm Yeah.
Okay. And quality. And you said you like physical touch. Quality time and physical touch.
Right.
Words of affirmation are powerful. Uh, it strokes people's egos. And guess what? Women have egos too. So, Fatima, which one of these is your love language?
The number one for me would be acts of service. Because again, that's who I am. And that's not that my man has to do everything I do or be in the same field or industry or just be me. I don't need a carbon copy of me, but I do need you to understand me, get to know me, learn about me. And for me, I'm very big on acts of service. I love to help people, I love to do for people. Givers give. That's what they do. So the touching part, I'm not touchy feely, but I am a hopeless romantic, and I do like to, shower. I like to gift stuff, but again, gifts isn't even number one for me. Some women if given a chance to answer these same questions, would say gifts, number one off top, but that's not even that for me. But I do like them as well, and I love giving them. So again, love receiving, but my love language in that aspect is the services and the acts of kindness and the gift giving and all that type stuff, more so than the physical touch. I do like hugs. Some people like to kiss. I like hugs. And for me personally, I think that stems from just not being, held a lot or nurtured as a child. So I didn't get hugged all the time, So as a grown woman, I enjoy it. So,
Wow.
it's going to vary from person to person.
Now I see you, Keisha. I saw your apology that you keep falling off, but that's what happens sometimes when we're driving. When we're driving, it happens like that. And I know that you were trying to get back into, I don't know if you're stationary now. Are you in a location? You're muted right now. Did you hear what
I'm
we
in
were
a,
talking about in regards to the love languages? What's your take on the love language concept, Keisha? Kaisha.
oh,
It's Kaisha.
yeah, this is Kaisha. So yes, I think the love languages, like you said, it comes in a conversation at first, and sometimes you could tell who what someone's love language is. Your friends, let's say for instance, because our friends tell us how intimate their intimate details. So you could tell someone's love language just by them speaking. So mine's, I took the quiz, and I believe mine's is which was surprising. Number one was physical touch, which I thought it would have been quality time, but I do like hugs too. Yeah, so it's mine's is physical touch and quality time, and then and then everything else, words of affirmations and the gift given. Um, I know that's not number one, but for some of my friends, gift giving is important. Like them getting gifts, they talk about it. Like, oh, this person bought, oh, I got a purse, or he bought me jewelry, and you could just tell that that's their love language. They enjoy gift giving, but I don't talk about what I receive unless it's a surprise. Like for instance, a male friend of mine's, and I will tell you about dating someone 50 and over. This was the first guy that I've talked to after my divorce. So he really did teach me a lot
Mm.
about dating, just by him being who he is. He's a gentleman, and and I just wasn't used to that because I was married for a very long time. So I married my ex. We were married at 21, so we grew up together. So I wasn't. There was some things I had to teach my ex to do for me. But anyway, so this man, he bought me. I moved, and as a consolation gift, he sent me um, one of seven. He sent me 7 frames, like out the blue, and I wasn't offended. It was nothing, it was just something that he wanted to do for me. He sent me glasses frames. I had to fill the prescription. That was fine, but I thought that was a nice gesture. I've known him since my divorce, and so I've known him for 3 years now. And we tried to date. It didn't work, but we are definitely friends. And as a friend, he sent me frames, which was just out the blue. I was just like, wow. Just like, wow.
That's an awesome gesture.
That was different.
It was,
He
So
cares though.
wow.
He
yeah,
cares about you.
yeah.
That's
I
what
want you to
cares about.
see, baby. Put some prescriptions in these frames.
Oh, I see. You said I
Now,
love all. Uh,
now, filling the glasses is more expensive than the frames,
Yeah,
but that was still
yeah.
nice. It was
But
still
see,
nice. It was still
apparently
nice.
he was attentive. I mean, did you wear glasses prior, or do you wear
Oh
glasses?
yes,
So he
yes,
knows that.
yes,
So that goes back to something about you that he knows that you like, and he, that's a sign of care. He care about you, and he know what you like.
yeah, yes,
and that's
yes,
important.
and yes, and I hate to say it, but he did teach me how to be treated. He did. When you're and I know you guys didn't touch on this. I don't know if y'all been married before, but when you're married for so long, as I was, you get used to the struggle love.
Mm.
You just
Come on now.
you,
And
you
trauma bonding. People not only have struggle
trauma.
up, but they bond with somebody that they both they related to each
Can
other's
relate
trauma.
to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I was just going through the motions. I think that was one of your questions. I think one of your questions was about cheating. Um, and I was just there and doing what I thought I should be doing. And then here it is. It's like you get into the dating world, and it's like, pow, you deserve so much more.
Yes, 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 yes.
And
Now let
that's
me ask
how
you
I
something.
look.
So
That's how I look.
after coming out of that relationship and going through that experience, did you take a period to yourself?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So my separation started at the start of the pandemic, like the shutdown, literally a month before everything shut down. So I was in the house anyway, and I didn't start on the dating apps. I didn't start perusing until I filed, until I was completely done, until I knew that this was over. And even then, because of the shutdown, everyone was inside anyway, so I still had time to myself. I still had time to go through the therapies and the self helps and the crying and the lamenting and the purging. And I did all those steps. Steps of grief. Oh, that's it. Steps of grief.
Hmm.
Steps of grief. I did. I had a year. I had a year and a half before I started going on dates. Before I really started seeing other people. Yeah, I did take time. I
I
did.
think that's important. I think that's important. What was your takeaway from what you said, Anthony?
I'm sorry.
What was your takeaway from what she just expressed that she went through?
Oh yeah, the time to yourself was the most important. You can analyze yourself, what was right, what you did wrong, what he did right, what he did wrong, what you like, what you don't like. So that part was for your self growth, your self health. Um, so yeah, that was good. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't take time for themselves after getting out of one relationship, and they take those habits and everything right back into the next relationship when they go to another relationship because they're used to living a certain way and doing things a certain way, and they just transfer it to the next relationship. So each relationship keeps going the same
It
way, a little
does.
subtle. So yeah,
It
that separation was good.
it
So let
does.
me ask
It
you
does.
this. Here's a good question. And this can go down, we can take this down to 45, 44. But what are some common turnoffs that women and men 50 and up are experiencing in the dating scene? Now, I know it says women, but I want to ask this to the ladies and the men. What are some common turnoffs? Because we need to know, we need to do better. We need to learn how to act. All right, we need to learn what to stop doing. We need to know what to stop doing these days. So explain what are some turnoffs that y'all have seen so that the audience can learn what not to do.
Hmm.
Stop playing games. Be honest with yourself. If this ain't what you want, say it. Stop leaving, stringing grown people along and just hanging on and just, coming around. And again, that's communicating at its finest, whether it's good or bad. So a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings and I just won't say nothing. Saying nothing is saying something. So the thing about absence is when you don't know, it leads you to wonder. And nobody should have to wonder. If you want to be in a relationship, say it. If you don't want to be in a relationship, say that too. And, unfortunately, there's still adult people that's just, still playing games. Um, we didn't have the word ghosting in our terminology.
Oh,
uh,
really?
yeah, but I mean, but we've experienced people not showing up, so it was the same thing, but we just didn't have a name for it. But that is to me so disrespectful, so rude. I mean, you don't want to be bothered. Say you don't want to be bothered. I mean, it's just, to me, it's just that simple. So I really don't understand why it's that difficult to let a man or a woman know I'm not interested. Say that and be gone.
That's a good point. But why don't men do that? Anthony, you're a man. Why do you feel as though men string women along?
Well, it's not necessarily men streaming women along. As we were saying earlier in the show, it goes both ways. There's women that string men along, and men string women along. Honesty is a problem. Uh, People being hurt prior to being in this relationship, um, so they don't trust. Or when one person in a relationship start playing games, the other one in a relationship will start playing games. Or if you can't get the truth from somebody, then you kind of try to even out the battleground. Okay, if you're doing this, okay, I'm gonna do this. If you treat me this way, okay, I'm gonna treat you this way. Because a lot of people figure if I can show them what they're doing to me, and I can't verbally tell them what they're doing to me, then if I can show them what they're doing to me by doing the same thing to them, then maybe they'll see it and maybe they'll change.
Now,
So
I see a comment from Miss Douglas. She put on there. She said, I want to mention that some people stay in relationship because they're lonely. Do y'all agree?
it happens. It happens.
Yes, Kaisha.
My best friend, she just said it. She admitted it, and it was a truthful statement when she said, because she knows she's dealing with BS. She knows she's dealing with it, but it was a truthful statement when she said, "Kaisha, I don't want to be alone." And I just, I
That's a
said,
true place.
wow, that's a
That's a
true. And
true
she said,
place.
she's like, her fear is passing away alone, and no one finds her a few days later.
I know a lot of people feel that way. I just had a conversation with someone. My dad worked in the funeral industry. He was an embalmer. And so therefore his co-workers, some of them went to pick up bodies. And so I'll never forget when my mom passed away. He wasn't single 6 months because he said he didn't want to be by himself because he knew of people doing that, you know. So it is so important that people do not just get in relationship because they don't want to be alone. Get a pet,
True.
get a roommate, go stay with somebody else, get a hobby, but don't tie up somebody's life if you are not sincerely wanting to be with them. Don't live a lie because you don't want to be alone. Be honest. Say, listen, you know what? I'm not feeling you anymore, but I don't want to be by myself. So would you stay anyway and we be roommates and we both can see other people? Why not? Just say it. This what because if
Then you
they
can
say
make the
no,
decision. Yeah, then you can make the decision. Right.
if they say no, then you know what? They say, okay, you say, well, you got 30 days to leave and I'm gonna get another roommate then.
That's true.
That's how I see it.
Or like
That's
you said, get a pet. You don't have to lie to a pet. You don't have to cheat on a pet.
you don't have to lie or cheat on a pet. So
But the thing about it is okay. We all have our own lives to live. We don't need to complicate our own or anybody else's. And when you're honest with yourself and you know what you want, you know what you don't want, is really no need to belabor, something that's not going to be. And it's okay. I think, again, for me, I think people make more out of stuff than it has to be. Like Lauren Hill said, it could all be so simple. I mean, it's not that hard. And everything is okay because, like I said, we all have our own lives to live. What you choose to do is what you choose to do. What I choose to do is what I choose to do, and so on and so forth. So whatever you come out of your mouth with, good or bad, as long as the intent is not harmful, and it's a good thing, be honest, and it's gonna be all right. If you're in a long-term relationship and it don't work out, clearly it's gonna hurt and you're going through the emotions. But if you just met somebody and you know good and well it's not working out, let them know. If you know 30 days in, why are you still there 90 days in when you knew, you know, your first 30 days? It is okay. I don't think people understand that your opinion is yours and what you say, the shots that you call is up to you to call the shots. And it's okay. We don't got to fight about it, argue about it. It's perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, we as women would rather you say that than not say that.
Well, men feel that way too. It's not just a female thing. It's a human thing. We're both flesh and blood. We both have emotions, feelings. That goes both ways. Anything
Well,
that can
some
be
men
said
don't
about a
care.
woman can be said about a man.
That's
That
true.
is true. That
That's
is
true. Now, let
true.
me read this comment. It says, for example, the game player, male or female, may feel that the other person will leave them, so they use mind games to manipulate them into staying. They may
Mm.
also be feeling powerless within the relationship, so they start playing mind games in order to gain the power back. Now that's
Lord
deep.
Jesus.
That's
That's
deep.
deep.
That's
So,
true.
so the game player feels like the person's gonna leave, so they start to do the things that they think it makes them happy. They start to say the thing they think they want to hear. They start to do the thing that they feel like it's gonna make the person feel powerless. Like, listen, they don't make no money. They can't pay the bills, so they start to say certain things to make them feel like I can't go nowhere because I can't pay this rent. You
Wow.
know. So is that really fair?
No,
Manipulation.
but you don't have
Manipulation.
to do all that. Just be done.
Wow. And then it goes on to say it may be tempting to play little games in the early phases of our relationship when we've been taught
To
they
play
will make
games.
the person like or want us more. And a lot of people, they flirt, they play these games, but the truth is all they do is confuse or even hurt the other person. Being real with someone is harder, but
Right.
ultimately more rewarding. Now,
True.
Nisi, I sent you the link. You can come in on the camera. I sent you the link to come on up here and look in your messenger because I sent you the link. Click the link that I sent you in Messenger so you can come on camera. And I know you may need to keep your camera down. The only thing I ask, if you want to come on camera, if you want to participate, is to have a picture on your profile so that if you are not live and you have to turn the camera off, we still see your picture. I don't mind if some people cannot be on camera, but have a profile picture so that for recording purposes, they're not looking at a blank space. Okay. So that's going to be the requirement, good light, good sound, and have a good picture. But those are very valid points. What she
That was
said,
deep.
people manipulate others. Women stay in domestic violence relationship because they can't afford to leave. Men,
Men and women.
men and women stay in domestic violence relationship. You're absolutely right, Anthony. It is definitely both. I can do statistics right now. Both
Because
men
they
and
can't
women.
afford to leave? Probably not. Probably not.
Well, there are some women that make more
Some,
money than women than
yeah,
their men.
yeah,
Yep,
some.
it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Um, I've been living a long time. I've never heard a man say he stayed because he couldn't afford to leave. I personally know men that have been abused by their woman, a wife. For an example, in a marriage, the wife was the abuser to her husband, but he didn't stay because he couldn't afford to leave. He stayed because that was his wife and he loved her and he loved the sanctity of their marriage. He just didn't like her hands that she would put on him.
Afford to leave could be financially or emotionally.
That's true.
Now, when you're talking about a a woman, most of the time, if there's children involved, obviously, and even if there's not, but most of the time there's a family. So for her, it's not just her. She got to worry about, I could leave, but who gonna feed my children? And how we gonna get by? A lot of times it's a we situation where the woman is involved in a relationship, whereas the man, and then not in all cases, so I'm not saying that, but whereas the man, being it just him, he can bounce. And they oftentimes do.
More than likely, the man will bounce. But then
That's what I'm saying.
if there's kids involved, the
Right.
man's gonna be just as dedicated as the woman if he love his kids, and he gonna go through hell and high water to stay with his kids. So that's where the emotional expense comes in. I can't afford to leave my children.
Mm. I would love to hear some of those stories. I haven't heard any yet, but I definitely would love to hear some, for
I,
instances, about that.
I stayed in my marriage because I love my kids. And then my wife had the guts to say, I can do whatever I want to do as long as I got these two kids. He ain't going nowhere. And for some point,
So you're muted.
that was true. That I wasn't going to leave my kids because I made a promise to my kids that I wouldn't leave my kids like my dad left me. So she knew that. So she took that to advantage and used it as a manipulative tool.
Wow. Yeah.
We can't hear you.
Kennard, welcome, Nisi. I'm going to let you introduce yourself and speak for a moment. Kennard, I see you, but it's not letting me add you. So I don't know if it's your device because I don't have the button that says add. So go out and come back in so that I can add you because it's not letting me bring you up to the stage for some reason. Go out and come back in. Nisi, how you doing? Thank you for joining the conversation. You touched on some serious stuff about people playing games when it comes to being in a relationship. Tell the people about what you were saying and introduce yourself, please.
Well, first of all, I'm Niecy Hobson Douglas, whatever you want to call me. I was married twice, so I still kept my first name because of businesses. But whew,
Give it to her. Because now one thing y'all don't know about Nisi is very, very, very knowledgeable when it comes to certain things. A lot of times she talked to a lot of people when it comes to relationships, and she's been through some stuff. And so I'm glad she's in here because a lot of times she'll go live and she'll talk about some things. And so I want us to have a conversation. Kennard, I hope you come back. I see you, Kaisha. Kaisha, I want you to do me a favor, add a profile picture so that when you're off screen, the profile picture has your picture. I don't want the recording to have a blank picture. But Nisi, tell us the question that we asked. Tell us why you said what you said in your response.
can you repeat what I said? Because I can't even see what I wrote.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Now, you know I'm old.
Okay. It says, you said, for example, the game player may feel that the other person will leave them, so they use mind games to manipulate them into staying. They may also be feeling powerless within the relationship, so they start playing mind games in order to gain power back and control. And then you said something else, but I'll let you elaborate on that part right there.
Well, first of all, I feel that, how they used to say, I'm going to meet the representative first.
Yes.
That's over with.
Mm.
First of all, we 50 and older. We 45 and older. You might be 35 and older. You might be mature. Don't come with the games at first. Play the games together when you get together. And I'm not speaking of games to hurt one another. I'm talking about games to love one another. I feel that in relationships now, I'm not perfect. No, I'm not. But I feel that in relationships, you meet a representative first. It is nothing wrong with meeting a person and you and on because of their eyes, their lips, their body, their butt. I mean, I'm just being real. Their legs. We have a tendency in relationships to meet from eye to eye of that connection, eye to mouth. And when I say eye to mouth, because you're seeing that they're speaking, and then we're ear to ear. But what happens in relationships, now that's the representative, right? But in the relationship, you forget the body of the relationship. You forget the heart of the relationship. You forget the touch of relationship, and y'all jump right down to the sex. Let's just keep it real. I mean, and then now you don't slept with a crazy woman. They don't slept with a crazy man. Now spirits are connected now. So where you mess up y'all, you know, and you gotta take me as I am. Okay.
Right.
No, Nisi, don't have. I got a scarf on today. You might see that when you walk in my door. You're gonna see who I am because I can picture perfect myself for the game.
Right.
But who knows who's gonna win the game?
Right.
I'm a champion. So you're going to get a champion no matter what you see right here, that maybe I'm in a wheelchair. I don't have a problem with meeting someone because I'm honest with them. Just because you know he is playing a game and you want to play with him, you're going to lose because you're playing the game.
Right.
Right.
So what I mean by that is that you have to, when you get into these relationships, ladies and men, I got 7 brothers. I wasn't brought up with girls. So I was taught how they play. And I taught them how a woman played through me and my mother. So if I want to be treated a certain way, as my father would tell me, I can't, honey, I can't, ain't no man gonna read your mind. My mother would say, just ask. And so if I'm struggling and you my man, or if he's struggling, he may not have gas for the week. Is there something wrong with you going into your pocket saying, baby, I got you? Because if you got your hand out and he might have a bad week, is it wrong for you to help him? See, what the issue is in relationships, that you're all lying and playing games, and then you wonder why all these people are so hurt and messed up. And I love the young lady that just actually told you, I had to heal.
Yes.
A lot of men and a lot of women don't take out the time to heal. And how many of you have came back and told the person, I'm sorry? I never forget getting on a call to I don't want to say the name, but I said to him, you know, I was at church today and I forgive you. And she answered the phone, the other woman. And you know what I said to her? I forgive you too. Because I can't go forward so that I can be all right for somebody else.
That's right.
And whatever I done to you to make you go there, tell me what I did so I won't make the mistake. A lot of people are not able to accept the truth. If I'm in a relationship and I want to go forward and you want to stay backwards because that's not what you want, deuces. Because I'm not going to stay in a relationship that does not want to take it further.
Right. Right. And so, but what you said, something powerful. Some people can't handle the truth. Some people, you ask questions, but then when you get the truth, you can't handle it. So that's a mouthful right there. I've seen that in many situations. And Kaisha, let me let you back up. I see you back on camera. And you're muted. So when you come back in, you are muted. Young lady, that if you're in the over here commenting, I sent you the link because you said why you can't comment, because you're on as a viewer and not as an active participant. So I sent you the link to participate. Kaisha, I added you, but I don't see you. Unmute yourself so I can see if you're up there, because you're in the dark. So I don't know if you're there or not, because I don't see you. Let me see. Let me remove you and add you back. She's having technical difficulties for real. She said she kept apologizing. Yeah, you're really having technical difficulties. Let's go to a different question here and see what this other question was. There was a question here that said, what are 3 things that tells you they the one? Whether it's a man or a woman, what are 3 things that tells you they the one? Anthony, I'm gonna let you go first because you're the man on the floor. 3 things that tells you they the one.
For me, and the 3 things that will vary from person to person. 3 things for me is
Lisa, you just froze.
a loving family history. Someone that's been grew up in a loving family history, know how to love and accept love. Family oriented. And I think brutally honest.
Mm. Can you handle the honesty?
Yes, that's because that gives me the decision to make. That puts the ball in my hand, the ball in my court to how I'm going to react or perform. You know, years ago when I was younger, no, you know, because when you're younger, it's no, somebody to tell you no, that hurts ridiculously. But as you grow older and you know you've been through no's and disappointments, then you learn through your trials and tribulations that for someone to be brutally honest with you up front, that's heaven. You know your road is paved, your sky is clear. You know there's no stumbling blocks. You know what to expect, and it's up to you to be man or woman enough to accept that honesty. You know,
But a lot of people can't. A lot of people can't.
Yeah, that's a hard ball to swallow. It's hard to do that, you know. But you have to be in, you know, going through that at a younger age and learned, and you know your trials and tribulations push you in that position to where you can handle it.
Now, Nisi, you went back in there. You typed something, but you typed it in the private chat. You wrote that he respects your friends and your family, and you have similar values, and he also is thinking about the future.
So what I meant by that is, I have a gentleman and we are so connected in so many ways. But when friends and family come around, he becomes dominant. That means that he's not going to respect my friends and family. Now, this is the thing. No, and I know there's many people, he ain't marrying you, he's not marrying them, or he's not dating them, he's dating you. But if he can't respect them, what make you think he's going to respect me?
It's not.
And the second thing I said was, what was the second thing?
You said you have similar values. That's real important.
Yes. Some type of values. My first husband, now we were just alike. 29 years of marriage. My second husband, why does she got a second husband? Well, my second husband, which matter of fact, tomorrow would be a 1 year that he passed away.
I'm looking at the date. Yep.
My second husband, he and I didn't have nothing in common, but we balanced one another. And he encouraged me, I encouraged him. So, and the one thing that we value though is that we value one another. And we're from 2 different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to be able, okay, like he liked soccer. He was from Jamaica, so he loved soccer. I didn't want to see nobody kicking no football, but then I had to think about it. Well, I love football. So I didn't have a problem with sitting there watching it because he enjoyed it and I enjoyed watching him enjoying it. So when I watch games, Crystal noticed, I'm like the fellas, I'm screaming like I was screaming at the camera just a minute ago. And I was like, oh man, Crystal got her thing. Man, I want to see the game. Oh yeah, okay. Long as Carolina win it. And I'm screaming. And somebody on the phone said, Nisi, they can't hear you. But man, come on, I feel like I'm at the game. Well, my husband, he would look at me and laugh. But he would enjoy because he said, I enjoy watching you. You get so excited. So he valued what I liked and what I enjoyed. How many
So
of you all can do that in a relationship? Value one another. I guess y'all saying, why is this girl talking about relationship? Well, I was a counselor for relationships. Why am
And
I talking like
there
this?
was no in-house competition.
No competition. What am I? We going? Why? Why are we in competition with one another? You're my man. I'm your woman.
right. So hold that thought right there, Kaisha, because your camera been going in and out. Do you want to add to this? How do you know they the one?
Oh, that's what I'm coming in on. How do you know? I don't. I don't. I am fairly new to this. Um, my ex was the one when we were 19 because he was nice to me. You know, we we are 6 months apart, so we have very similar. We got a lot in common. That's it. We had a lot in common. We were both born in the 80s. So we had the same interest in music, same interest in fashion. I'm from New York. He's from Washington, D.C., Virginia area, So same upbringing, same single mom story. Um, so that's how I knew he was the one. He didn't play game. He's 19. I'm 19, you know?
So
Okay,
you
I'm
grew
parked.
up together. See
Yes, we
that you grew up together, 19. That was Ed and I. We knew each other from 5 and 6. So we grew up together. So we went through the 10-year stages, the 20s, the
yes,
30s, the 40s. So you
yep,
gonna change. Things are gonna get different. But you know
yes,
that you know that you know when he and she is the one is because when he's mad with me or I'm mad with him, I'm still loving on him.
Hmm,
I don't go to bed angry. Now I don't know about nobody else, but I'm not going to bed angry. And I was a
hmm.
nice little healthy girl, so I would be like, "You gonna move over on the couch? 'Cause I'm laying with you because we ain't gonna be mad with each other. Not tonight, because you never know if they gonna wake up the next day."
Next day,
And that's what happened
Woo!
to my husband.
next day.
Wow.
He went to sleep on the
That's true.
10th. And he did not wake up on the 11th. But we got so many memories.
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
what happened, I became a motivator. I inspired him. And then he told me, "You taught me how to love as a man."
Mhm.
Wow.
Hmm.
Now Fatima wrote, for me, it is his relationship with God. It's the fact that he can live and do without me, but he doesn't want to. And it's his relationship with his mom and children, along with being responsible. Now, you want to elaborate on that, Fatima? When you
Yes.
first meet them, how quick are
You
you to
don't know
know
all
about?
of that when you first meet somebody. Clearly, you do not. But for me, I know a lot of people feel like opposites attract. And something about me and dating, I have to
Hmm.
have more in common with my man than less in common. And again, like I said, we who wants carbon copies of each other, but we have to have like-minded things in common because those are the things that's going to bind us. And those are the things that we could sit back and laugh and talk and kiki about rather than being with somebody and you're totally opposite. I mean, literally, he plays basketball, you hate basketball, you like to skate, he can't stand skating. I mean, that doesn't work for me. Me and my mate we have to be gelled by something. So of course, when you're in your dating stage, you bond over things that you do have in common and y'all laugh and cut up because that's what you do. You like the same type stuff. Um, so for me, that's very important to me. And as the relationship progresses, and we decide not one or the other, but we decide that we're going to be a we, it needs to be we and us and our, and once we decide to move forward, but that can't happen if they're still living in, I zone, I land. It has to be about the relationship. So I want a man that can live without me. He was doing that long before he met me, but he don't want to. Once he's decided he wants me in his life, he's decided he wants me in his life. Once we've decided to move forward together, he's decided we are going to move forward together. You can't be a couple if it's just one while you're in a union. That's not a union. So that's a big thing for me. And of course, number one, starting it with God, having a relationship with the Lord. Everybody on here outside of the young lady that we don't know, I'm a believer of the faith. I believe in Jesus Christ and the Lord. So those are very important for me, and a man being responsible. I didn't find out until my 20s, late 20s, going on 30s, that my vision of a quote unquote real man was what my definition of a real man is. And I didn't realize I was like that until it dawned on me I was looking for things in a man that I did not get from my father. Who knew? I didn't know that. I had to come to that realization because people would ask me, like, you keep talking about a real man, a real man. What is a real man? Well, a real man to me gonna be different than your definition of a real man to you. So a real man to me is responsible, provider, and I didn't have that from my father. So at some point in time, I realized the men that I dated, I was looking for those things in that man. So responsibility is a big thing for me in a man.
Hold on
That's what I look for.
Hold on one moment. Craig, Reggie, you have to probably go out and come back in because it's not allowing you to be added. So here's the deal, y'all. When you first click that link, it's going to say add video and add audio. You have to click that you want to add video and audio. It's also going to give you an opportunity to put your display name, and you write your name. It's also going to give you the opportunity to add a profile picture. If you add the profile picture, then you can keep your camera off and we don't have to see you, and we can hear you, but we'll at least see your picture. But if you don't add a profile picture, when you're not there, we see an empty symbol, and that's what I don't want to see. Kaisha, I need you to add a profile picture. Craig, come back. I saw you, Craig. I saw you in there. Come on back. That's my buddy Craig Nisi that came there from my old neighbor from New York. Come on back. I would love to have you in this conversation, for real, for real. Kennard came in, but he couldn't get in. So you guys have to be able to do that. But yeah, for recording purposes, I gotta see a person or a picture. A person or a picture is necessary. So again, to the people that's coming in, because they're coming in the stage, they're coming in the studio. When you first come on, click add audio and video. When you click that, you will not be on the camera because you're just in the backstage at that moment. You're in the backstage. I have to bring you up to the stage. So don't worry. When you click that, it's not that we're going to see you. We're not. I have to add you to the stage. I can add you once I see that you cut your camera on because I want to know that it's working. And again, where it says, you'll see a little icon, put your picture there. So that's good what you said about that question. I want to go to another question because there were so many questions, so many good questions. This is the good one. Who are you? Do you give your role, your position, or your family, or at yourself? No, not that one. I don't want that one right there. The ladies and the gentlemen, I had asked everybody to post a song that they appreciated when they were in a relationship or planning for the next one. What is a song that you hear that describes your ideal relationship, that describes what you want, how you want it? Like, there's so many songs out there, y'all. There's so many songs out there. They don't make them like they used to, but what is the song that describes the perfect relationship in your eyes? And you're a singer, Anthony, so I know you should be able to give us a song that comes to your mind. What's the song that comes to your mind? And Kaisha, when you're ready to talk, you're muted, so you got to hit the mute button. So just to let you know, you're muted. Okay. But what's a song that comes to your mind, Anthony?
Most of my songs are love songs. If you listen to the music that I listen to, it explains me. you can learn a lot about me through my music and what I listen to. My foremost song that always comes to mind when I'm asked that question is Shalimar. Somewhere There's a Love Just for Me. That one's pretty much first. And then there was a tune that came out by George Pettis called Can You Wait?
Can you wait?
Wow. Can you wait? Now,
Yes.
I never heard that one. What's the lyrics all about? You know, it's interesting that you said that the music you listen to will tell you a lot about a person. And that's why parents, you have to be so attentive to your children and the music they listen to with this rap and all this violent stuff that's going in. It is real important. So it's not only important for love, but it's important overall. So just take that little nugget and keep that on the shelf.
Yeah, it can lead you down a dark road if you don't have any guidance.
Wow. So Kaisha, song, you said you didn't know. What is a song that makes you dream of your next relationship?
I agree. I don't. I maybe I'm just not listening hard enough because there's music from the 70s and and that I've heard. Oh, okay. Sorry. I've been yes, neo soul. So it would be like Erica Badu. I've been listening to her lately. Or India Irie is more self-empowerment. Who I am is more about who I am. So the music, I would say music-wise, it would be neo soul because I want to show up in my next relationship loving, and open and receptive,
Mhm.
and whole. And so that's what the neo soul is telling you how to flow through life, just easy going. If you listen to Erica Badu and Jill Scott, even nowadays, it's Jasmine Sullivan and Flowetry. You guys remember Flowetry?
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm hot now, but yes, like that's how I want to show up. I can't remember the songs off the top of my head because it's YouTube mix, neo soul mix. But I want to show up with peace.
Mm.
I just want to show up with um, just open mind, and that's what I want for me as well. So if you remember those videos, the men they look like they paying attention
Mm.
in the music videos,
Wow.
So I wanna we don't gotta talk about world peace and the issues of the world, but I do want intellect in my relationship. And I want my mind to be valued. Um
That's good.
yeah,
So
that's
you know
it. So
what I like
the
about what you said? You know what you want.
yes,
Ladies,
like
you gotta know
yeah,
what you
that's
want.
it.
You have to know what you want in a relationship. You can't just be going in it because you're trying to fill a void or because you are hurt
I
from
have
the
a
previous
question too.
relationship or because, let's keep it real, you're horny. You can't just be going in it because you got the heebie jeebies and you just need a quick fix. Know what you want. Know what
Yeah.
you want.
I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
question. I do have a question for Anthony. Can we go back to about the communication and
Yes.
the silence and the ghosting? Like I agree with you, ladies. It's ridiculous. But unfortunately, Anthony, even men in your, like I said, my age group is, I've gotten ghosted. So one man I told him because he could, they come back. They always come back. Um,
Oh yeah. Oh
the,
yeah.
the question was
It's a
about,
comeback.
yeah, the question was about setting a date. It was about setting a date. And I am busy. I do have a teenager who's into stuff, and I'm the only driver, so I got to take her. So my response of setting a date was, "Hey, would you like to meet for breakfast?"
Hmm.
I got nothing until later with the "What's up?" So when we got face to face, I said it, and this is the second time. I said, "Look, if you don't want to do something, say no. Say no." God, say no. I'm
What was
over
it?
40.
He
I
didn't
can
eat
hear you
breakfast.
no.
He didn't eat breakfast or something. Was that it?
Listen, some people they don't want to do breakfast dates. They don't get it. They don't get it. You
Ain't
know.
no
But
romance in breakfast.
Hey,
yeah, right. Yeah, right. But the
If he
question,
said
like,
he'll
and there was
cut
like
his
another.
bread, he would have came
If I would have said what?
to come over to the house.
for
He would have came,
breakfast.
That
but
part.
because you said
That part.
breakfast,
Wow.
but because
So
you said breakfast,
that says a lot for the brothers, Anthony.
It does. It
Hey,
does.
hey,
So
it
I know
happened.
who I'm dealing with. I know who I'm
It
dealing with at
happens.
this
It
point.
happens.
But
It's the
but I don't know, like you said, Anthony, it's the nervousness. They don't know how they get their throat chakra closes.
Can I
well.
can I
It's
inter-
I
Hold on,
was
hold on. Hey, hold on. What you say? You want to say something, Nisi?
I'm not trying to take up from men, but I think sometimes we as women mislead them. I think that if you allow value, value means so much. You're gonna know my value of who I am because I love Barry White. I got so much to give. So I need to know your value because my value is high.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
and
know right
accept
off
it.
the bat. First of all, I love breakfast. Second of all, I love to cook, but you're not coming to my house yet. So we're gonna lay that out online. Now, if I'm talking to you late at night in my baby voice,
oh Lord,
I'm leading you on.
That's
And what happens, we do that because now we're feeling comfortable with you. Okay. So then when that time come over here where you find so much time to talk to me, I'm texting you, I'm writing you, I'm this, I'm that, you're not getting to know the person on the phone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not saying you did this because you don't told them twice. Well, I don't give
yeah.
3 chances. So I don't told you
mm,
twice. You respect me because you know I do have a son. So I'm going to show my son how a woman needs to be treated. So you can't come over here. And
Right. Yep.
if you're not a breakfast man, then I need you to tell me. I think that
Yes.
we just
Yes.
have to lay everything out on the line, men and women. I'm all into church and I love the Lord, and I open up my arms and love to God, but then I open up my legs with you at night. I'm being real.
that's
Mm-hmm.
real. That's real.
So
That's true.
how do you show value of yourself if you're not showing value to yourself? How do he or she supposed to see the value of you?
Or
So
even
I
do you
love
know
the
the
fact
value of yourself?
that's right. And so I love the fact that you said, hey, keep it real with me. We at breakfast. If breakfast ain't for you, if you ain't a morning person,
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah.
I ain't got games. Life is too short. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
some people can't deal with the straightforwardness.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, she
Yep.
mouthy. Oh, he's mouthy. Oh, I'm doing it because I like you. Well, if you're doing it because I like you, let me know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that in relationships, the value and truth means so much. Honesty means so much. And yes, God, I want the God in you, the God in my well, we speaking of my last marriage. The God in my husband, he was so quiet. I don't know how in the world we got together.
Mm-hmm.
But he told me he watched me for 8 months. And I thought he was a stalker then because I said 8 months. But what he told me, he said, I knew you were my wife. And because of the value of how I carried myself and because of certain things and I didn't know he was the one. I wanted to go back to that. I did not know he was the one. You too quiet. You too short. You too light skinned. I like I'm tall, dark. I want something to crawl up on me. My mind that's where my mind was. but I knew he was the one when I got sick, because he gave me that unconditional love. So I think you have a sense of who you know when you're dating them. If you're keen, don't be keen into everything that you like about them on the outer appearance, because it can change. I changed. Keep this real on the inside. So I love what you said about the music, the poetry, because those are some deep songs.
And she was all about self-awareness.
Yes.
Everything she said was about self-awareness. And I asked a question about the relationship. A lot of people will give you a love song or something, but she said everything that had to do with how she wanted to feel coming into the relationship. So that tells us a lot about your thought process. We don't get that a lot. Most people don't think about how they want to feel going in. They think about how they want him to make them feel.
Right.
And that's
Right.
the difference. So where you are is in a great place, honey. Whether you know it or not.
That's right.
Good.
Remember,
place.
I had to shut down to think and to see and watch my friends, and and I'm going to say this real quick, and then I want to hear Anthony's response. But you gotta like this. I've been single for 3 years and dated. I dated, but not in a true relationship, and I had time, and I'm in therapy. That's the other thing. Therapy helps. Therapy helps. And so with the shutdown, and you're on these apps and you're watching other people's scenarios, and you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. And also not just therapy, but workshops like this, where you can, like I said, learn and hear perspectives. And that's when you figure out what you like and what you should accept and what you shouldn't accept. And you all are my elders. I respect y'all as my elders.
No.
Yeah, regardless if it's 5 years, 10 years, I respect you. But I want to, I respect what you're saying. And I tell you, a lot of my friends, I invite them to these things, and they not with it. And so that's where I think. But I agree, and I'm going to say, and I'm sorry, I'm going to stop. I agree. I don't want to be alone for long. I don't want to be too self-aware where I'm blocking, blocking my people. But I just that's and so I'm complete. But thank you. Yes.
One of the things that you said, I'm sorry, Crystal. One of the things that you said that I really, really loved is that you said therapy. A lot of people, a lot of men do not like to go to therapy, because their macho is attacked. I don't need to go talk to nobody. I know what I want. I know what I need.
Yep.
And sometimes, like, men feel that, and I'm sorry, because you're here, Anthony. Men feel if she sees me cry, she's gonna walk over me.
True. You don't want to show your vulnerability or your weakness.
Right.
Society did that though. Charles, I see you in there. Charles, I sent you the link to your phone. Feel free to come on up on the stage. I sent the link to your phone.
But not all. A lot of women did that, Crystal. It's not all society. It's not all TV. A lot of women did that, because a lot of women, and by no means am I knocking us. I'm a woman, but a lot of women, man, what are you crying for?
Yeah.
Man up.
Why are you acting that way?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
You weak.
And so I'm gonna give you a great example of what a minister said to me one day. He said, I love the fact that you allowed your husband, he said he was having a bad day. Soon as he came home, I did not attack him and say, well, since you told me you were having a bad day, can you tell me what it was? Because you were talking about it. Well, baby, I don't want to talk about it right now. But why you don't want to talk about it right now? I mean, you called me and told me that you was having a bad day. And he said the woman just goes in.
Mm-hmm.
not thinking that he's trying to process now when he gets home. And it could be vice versa. Not just I'm speaking because I'm a woman, but I allow my husband to have his moment. Then when he get here, after I've done dinner, after I've cleaned up, and yeah, I've done a lot. We don't have no kids, so to God be the glory at that moment. But I had to do I feel my wifely duties. It didn't say it was a wifely duty. I felt that it was my wifely duty. Then I sat down with him and said, would you like to talk? So if we are attacking, and then he see that neighbor next door looking at him, or she see that man at work talking to her because he's giving her time. You gotta go all the way to what you said, young lady. You got to take out time for yourself and to understand, because and Crystal, it ain't that it's society. Yeah, we make up society, but a lot of women have told men, oh, this nigga crying. I don't need no sensitive man.
It's true.
But guess what? He don't need no hard woman. He might need a strong woman.
I think you're correct. I think it's a combination of both, and I believe that it is something that it starts early on, and sometimes mothers do it too. Sometimes fathers do it. Tell their boys, "Don't be no punk," man up. We say things like that, and I think it's not until men get older that they're given permission to be vulnerable and be themselves. I think they're told later on in life, and when they start to get in relationship, that it's okay. And I think that after mental health really became a topic and people really started looking at it, then the world realized they messed up men by telling them that. They messed them up by telling them that. So people have to go back and really reevaluate what they're saying to their boys and their men about how they need to express themselves, about how they need to feel. There is a way that they can still show their sensitive side, but people have to be open-minded, because a lot of times they're not open-minded. They prejudge. Oh, he's gay. Oh, he's soft. You know what I mean? If they don't have that thug look, if they don't have a certain look about them, they just prejudge. And that's a lot to do with society, marketing, promotions, the commercials, everything. It's everything combined. But that's
Do
why
we have to have a person to have everything that we want before we go out with them? What if you had, and I'm asking that
That's
question because
impossible.
I hear that a lot from
It's
men
never gonna
and
happen.
women. Oh, I don't want to have to go through all this. Well, how you know that you're going to go through that?
That's
He or she
impossible.
might be the one.
you start to say something, Fatima.
Yeah, I wanted to say we have to watch the words. We have to be held accountable and responsible for the words that are coming out of our mouths. Not just men, but women, both of us, all of us. And I say that because even what we're talking about, demoralizing a man, demasculating a man, even in my definition of what I felt like a real man was. So when you say, well, he ain't a real man and I want me a real man, even saying that um depicts that you're getting something fake. If you're saying that this man ain't a quote unquote real man, then what you really saying is you're dating less than a real man. And that's degrading and that's demoralizing. I mean, I've never said that to a man. I want a real man. I've said it to my girls. As females, we talk and, oh, a real man would do this. And you don't even have to ask him to do stuff he should know to do and all of that. We have to stop with that. We have to watch the things that we say. And we have to pick and choose our words very carefully. And I will be first partaker because me personally used to say whatever, regardless, not even thinking that, did you think that your words might hurt somebody's feelings? I didn't. I just said whatever I thought. I meant it. I never, play games with nobody. I say exactly what's on my mind, but at the same time, we're not being mindful of how that resonates to the person. and that's not fair to them. And then we
Yeah,
wonder why, they're not this, they're not that, they not that. Well, they might have been that, but you know what I'm saying? They feel beat down, and now they're not going to be that.
well, I got to go back to a question that Anthony and I talked about before you guys came up, because it was a very important question. And we talked about when is the right time, or is it too soon to talk about health in a relationship when you first meet a person?
Hmm.
Is it too soon to ask the question about, their health, or is it too soon to tell somebody about your health when you first meet somebody? Will that run them off?
Excuse
Or
me,
will
baby.
it make
You got
them
high blood
want
pressure.
that? I mean, no, because and
I
who?
always be single then.
But yeah, we're talking 50 over now. We're talking 40s, 50s, 60s. We're not
Diabetes.
talking in the 20s. We're talking people who have seen some things. They have been through some things. Is it a turnoff if we do that, y'all? Is it a turnoff if we have the
Yep.
conversation? And Nisi, I'm gonna start with you.
Why?
I'm gonna start with you.
Because I'm in the
Because you're
wheelchair.
disabled.
Because I'm in the wheelchair.
Yeah. I'm gonna start with you because I want to know when you had a change in your lifestyle and you got in a situation where you were putting yourself back out there again. How receptive were people when you? Because I know you were transparent, so you tell people your situation. What kind of responses were you getting? And from your responses, what would you say to people about why they need to do this? Because I think you would be able to teach some people and help some people that may feel ashamed, that they may feel like, they shouldn't say
Is
something.
her
And they
name
lie.
Kaisha? Is her name Kaisha? Keisha?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Keisha, I'm comical too, so I needed you to know that because I was getting ready to go somewhere with this. But because I was
It's
getting ready to
okay.
tell you my size ain't got nothing to do with what I can do. But my my change affected me into a way where I felt that someone will not accept me for who I am now. I was that young lady that I'm 5 feet, but I wore 6-inch heels. I dressed nice. I traveled the world. I've done some wonderful things. I've had a wonderful life. I'm not saying it's over because it's not, but I had to realize my value changed. Some people, just like you stated, that you have a teenager. Well, all of us got some type of baggage. My baggage was my health, or is my health. Now, my health is great, but I have lymphedema, so it allowed me to look different.
Fix your camera back because you cut yourself off. Whatever you just did.
Well, I did it long because is that good? Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
I have lymphedema, so what does that mean? I had to realize I have a deformed body. This leg this big, this leg this big. Certain sides of me swell, or my body might look unbalanced. It takes a strong individual to deal with that. So now I've realized, you really truthfully got to get to know who I am. And I have to tell you, I haven't had a problem with gentlemen wanting to still date me. And that's because I was very honest. I feel that some feel that I don't need to be alone. Some feel that they want to make sure that, and I say they because I could go back to relationships. There's some that are trying to come out the woodwork. I feel that if you have some type of illness, you need to be honest with the person, because he or she can't handle it. And it's okay. And you got to realize if it's okay. You might have a hearing impaired. You might have a vision impaired. You might walk with a limp. You might have thicker glasses than normal. You might be big, you might be small, you might have a denture problem, and you working on getting your teeth done, but yet still you can't smile at them. So are you not going to talk to them because they got a couple teeth missing and they might be working on it? And that's going, you might be missing a couple fingers, a couple of toes. You don't want to lead a person on. This ain't, come on, women.
I
This
don't know,
ain't your
Niecy.
hair.
I don't know. I can't date a photo woman.
This isn't my hair. This isn't my butt. This isn't my breast when I take my support bra off. Oh girl, I thought you were bigger than that. No, I'm trying to look good in my outfit. I wear spandex. I hold myself in and I let myself out. Some men got toupees on and fix their hair like women now. In the sense of, they make it cut because they bald headed, so I think that you got to value who you are, to be honest with a person instead of leading them on. Now, on the first date,
right?
In my case, you're gonna see me, so I'm gonna tell you.
That's a good point. That's a good point. See, so you might do it because you think they're gonna see me, but there's some people that it's not visible, and so they don't say nothing because they can't see their illness or their issues, so they wait. And how fair is that?
They need to wait. They don't need to tell them right off, depending
You
on.
don't have to tell right off the back. You don't lay out your whole history. But what you do is be honest. You have to eventually. I'm talking to you, girl. Watch this, girl. I've been talking to you. And you ain't heard a damn. I'm sorry, I got some. You ain't heard a damn thing I'm saying to you. Well, I'm deaf in one ear. Well, why the hell you didn't tell me that?
Now that's interesting. You said that because I actually did that. That was actually my life until I got my hearing aids. I went through a lot of my childhood. A lot of people would say, Crystal, I did not know. They say, girl, I was calling you deaf. I said, well, matter of fact, I am. They go, what? I am partial. I said, I got a hearing deficiency. They're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I said, no. It took me till I was 60, y'all, to go get hearing aids. 60 to go get hearing aids because I felt some kind of way. I felt like somebody was gonna look at me some kind of way. So people make people feel that way, but some people don't tell it all. I want to welcome Craig to the stage. What's up, man? New York in the building.
What's up, Chris?
Now, he had a lot to say on a lot of those daggone things. I called a lot of people out that had a lot to say on them questions about women, about men, about all kind of stuff. And we're talking right now, I don't know if you heard it, but we're talking right now about health. Do we tell the person when we first dating them if we have a health issue, or do we ask that question, or are we even concerned? What's your take on that?
First date? I mean, it depends on the to me, it's kind of hard to put anything written in stone. Like I hear people talk about 30 days, do this, and it depends. I think it depends on how the conversation is going, how the vibe is, and you take it from there. I don't, I have no problem with somebody, depending on the vibe, expressing certain things, and sometimes the sooner the better,
So, is it fair to say that if you like the person, you vibing, you really feeling them?
I lost.
No, maybe you might have to come back. You bring it back. You vibing, right? You vibing with that person. You vibing. You feeling them. So you got some things that you need to share with them. Like, do you hold out or do you come clean?
You know what? It depends. It depends on what it is, how important it is. It's something that could wait till another conversation. Sometimes.
You got HIV, or you can't have children.
You know what?
That's something. Or you can't get an erection.
You know what? I don't even know. Again, depending on the vibe, depending on where the conversation is going. If the conversation is going there, then bring it up. If it's not going there, because what are you doing on your first date? What are you really doing on your first date?
That's not relevant.
Yeah. What do you mean it's not relevant?
On your first, okay, now watch this. On your first, y'all say your first date. Ain't you talked about 30 times.
You done talked on the
Oh,
phone
Getting
for a
texts.
month.
Yeah, because it started off with texting.
Not necessarily, but if you want to say we had 30 conversations before the first date, fine. Yes, in that period of time, something should have come up. Yeah, but now you're throwing all this other stuff in it. But now if we just met and we're just having a first date, you know, we talked on the phone a couple of times. What time you gonna be there? I'm gonna be there. So and so, so and so. Then not necessarily, because if it's not going there, why bring it up?
Right. That's I agree with
Now,
that. I
Because
think
it's
relevant.
and it's
I
just
think
conversation. No,
right.
not if you don't. No, just conversation. I gotta tell you everything.
But Chris, you don't went deep. You talking
I don't
about
expect
HIV? First of all,
HIV, yeah.
Ain't nobody telling nobody
no,
that
'cause
day one.
no,
That's
but
not
they do. Yeah, they do.
Nah,
They
not
Yeah,
do,
they
on, not
do.
yeah.
on, not on day one.
Date one. Date
But if
one.
they plan on getting
Watch
busy, if they
this.
got getting
How
busy on
many
their
of you
mind,
all, okay, this is a good question. How many of you all ask, yo, I need to check your medical papers before you get with me?
Oh,
That's
Because I
big.
need to see you straight.
That's right.
Do anybody ask that?
How
Do
many? What?
anybody ask?
It
See, we
comes
are
out.
What
so
was it?
quick. Do
Nope.
anybody come out and say,
I can't.
have you had any
You're breaking up
sexual?
for me. I can't understand you.
Have anybody ever said to a man or woman, when the last time you got checked out?
I've heard that.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah, I've
question
heard
that's
that.
gonna come
And
up.
do
Yeah.
you ask, can I see?
That's right.
I haven't heard can
No,
I
I've
see,
never
but I've
done it,
heard
and
the
I've never been
question.
asked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I think in
And
2024 it needs to be asked because people are they're too free. You got polyamorous, you got all kind of relationship and lifestyles, you got same-sex relationship. How many people
well, you know what,
have gotten
Chris?
something? So you
I
have to.
I don't think that any of that is new. I think the fact that it's being more exposed is what it is. Now, you might want to ask, because now more of us are informed that there's those types of lifestyle. But those lifestyles didn't just start. It's been
Yeah,
around the
it's been
entire
all
time
along.
that we've been
Yeah,
around. Yeah, I mean, we're
all
just
along.
educated a little bit more about
I've
it.
been around, but have you asked?
right.
No, nope.
That's true.
I don't
That's
ask
true.
if they smoke weed. I don't ask if they do cocaine. I don't ask. Those are things I just haven't thought to ask. But again, it depends on where the conversation's going.
Right.
So
I
you
would
don't
ask
I
ask.
don't even ask what favorite football team you have. You know.
Now, Kaisha,
Excuse
I
me.
saw
Well,
that you
what do
said
you
that you're gonna
ask,
be
Craig? Because I want to know is it Craig or Greg?
Craig.
Craig.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
First,
remember Craig.
first date. I'm not too nosy. It's light conversation. You know, you're in the sports. You know, whatever comes up. You know, and I try to be as open as possible. You know, and honestly, I try to be as honest as possible. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't tell lies, because I do, as we all do. Or I haven't told lies, because we do. You know.
So is it the character? What did you say on the question about character versus physical attraction? Which one is more important to you?
Initially, it's the physical attraction. But then beyond that, yeah, how the person is. I mean, because it's the physical attraction that tends to draw most of us initially, right? And then you could be a 10 and quickly turn into a 5, depending on the kind of person you are. I mean, the beauty may always be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the beauty may always be there, but what's internal is like, it's it ain't happening. And can I go back to something I heard earlier? Not to change the subject, but just real quick, when it was discussed, when the brother was talking about how there are also men who stay in relationships because it's financially they can't leave, or it's more beneficial for them to stay. And the young lady was saying she's never heard of anybody that had to do that. There's a very famous song that I think all of us are familiar with. Cheaper to keep her.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
It's cheaper to keep her. Can't afford to let her go. It's gonna cost me too much money.
Now that is the truth.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that in there. But
that's a different perspective. But now that is true.
That is, yeah.
But you know what?
But that's not what we was talking about. But that is true.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to jump off the song. I just want to throw that in there before I forgot. But,
but that's good. But you know what though? When you put that out there, I have to say, even in that situation, If it's cheaper to keep her and you got a big 5-bedroom house, why can't y'all both just do your own thing and y'all stay together and work together?
Hey, look, I understand, and I tried that, and the person I tried it with wasn't feeling it after a while. So I was good with it. But I mean, we're living together and nothing else is happening. And you do you, I'll do me. And I think I was doing too much of me. And so that didn't work out too well, so not to say that it couldn't.
But Craig, what if you weren't doing too much of you and she was doing too much of you? Would it have bothered you?
Oh, absolutely not. She was good to do whatever she wanted to do. Absolutely. Yeah.
What about you, Anthony?
I feel the same.
Now that just happens to be with her, this particular woman. Now there've been other women I probably would have been feeling some kind of way about, possibly because of my emotional attachment.
Yeah, it just depends on how deep you are emotionally attached.
So it depends on the relationship. Got it.
Right.
Yeah, it depends.
So that was an honest answer, and I like that. So see, what y'all just said was very key. So how do you go on in a case like that? We want honesty. We said we want honesty. We want transparency. We're in irreconcilable differences. We have irreconcilable differences, so we can't be in a relationship, but neither one of us in a position where one of us might be in a position where we can leave, but the other one is not. So we care enough about each other that we're going to work it out and stay together. Why can't we make that work? Why, ladies, do we get our emotions so caught up that we don't want to see him with nobody else? Why, men, do we like, what? Oh no, you can do your thing. You just can't do it around me. I just can't see it. Why?
You know what?
It's because of what Craig said.
Emotion.
Look, yeah, and I mean that's what you just said was I idealistic, and it was beautiful, and I heard the birds chirping, and all that good stuff. But yeah, that ain't that. Yeah, it's big butt, right? Yeah. Why can't we? And so I was curious also, listening over an hour ago, I think it was, I was listening, but talking about the different things that go on in relationships. So let me turn the light back on. I'm sorry. Different things that go on in relationships. I'm kind of like, well, at this point, what do we expect? Because like you're in a relationship and you're 30 days in, like someone mentioned, 30 days in, and that's not the person, that's not the one. So why do you hang around? And I think what happens is it's some people, depending on who you're involved with or the kind of person you are also, it's like it's only 30 days. So why not stick around for 90 to see how it goes?
It can change. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. 30 days is just giving up. And you know what? I've been giving up all the time. I'm not gonna give up this time. Those red flags that I see, I'm gonna go right through those stop signs. This time I'm going to hang in there. And you stay 90 days. Huh?
Yeah, I can help change that. I can fix that.
Yeah, possibly. And then after 90 days, it's like, you know what? This ain't getting no better.
Well, let me ask y'all this. What are those flags? Because doesn't it depend on what they are? Because there's some things are non-negotiable.
Okay, yeah. If she lies, she's a liar. Oh, forget it. Disrespectful, not to me necessarily, but her treatment of other people. Lack of patience. Those are three key things for me. Lack of patience, you lie, and disrespectful. Yeah.
But if she's just argumentative or something, so what is it that is
that ain't petty?
You can work past.
That ain't petty. No, that ain't petty.
That ain't petty. Argument all the time.
Yeah,
that ain't petty.
Yeah.
So what is it that you will overlook and stick around and try to see? Well, I think I might be able to work past that. What is that?
What overlook? Those three things.
Okay, so I want to say this. Paul was a nagger. Oh my God, he was a nagger. But one day, I went into the mirror and I was standing, and I heard, and it was this soft voice that said, "Ask him how was his other relationships in responding or in communicating. So I went back in there and I said, honey, can I ask you a question? Yeah, because he was mad. I said, how did you and so or so and so conversate? How did y'all communicate? It always gets in an argument, always argument. I said, so you all didn't know how to talk to each other. So I had to show my husband how communication was. It's okay for us to agree to disagree. It's not an argument.
Right.
You know what?
And it became so funny because one day he came in, because out of the 5 years, we only had 4 arguments. But it was so funny because he came into the office and he said, Hunty, I want to sit down. I want to communicate. And I laughed. So I like when Craig say those 30 days, those 60 days, those 90 days, because you continuously keep getting to know the persons as months and weeks go on anyway. So as my grandmother would say, hold your hands up. You could deal with gambler, one is lazy, one that cooks, one is she went down the line. One is a holy roller, one that work all the time, one that only think about sports, lazy person, she just a woman that don't cook, a man that don't cook. She went down the line and she said, now you choose what you can deal with, and that's what you're going to deal with. So there's a lot of things that we can't do. We're not going to get the 100% anyway. But I love what Craig said. It's more than 30, 60, and 90 days to get to know a person. I want to know when you come. Go ahead.
Oh,
like
now
this show. This my show now. Go ahead, Craig.
No, when you said that you asked him about his past relationships, did he really tell you about that many relationships? Because if he did, that's a lot of communication.
He actually told me about 3 of the women, because he was very open. He literally said, Nisi, I married. He talked about the women he married. He said about his side chicks. They were side chicks.
He told you all of that?
Open and honest.
That's a lot of communication.
I'm a very open and honest person, so you're going to become open and honest with me.
So he was communicating.
Watch this. I'm not accepting your past with somebody else. I'm accepting you with me.
Okay.
Wow. So what you're saying, Craig, is you're not giving up that information.
No, I'm saying that it sounded like she was saying that he wasn't communicating with her. I'm saying that's a lot of communication if she knew all that. But I guess in other areas he may not have communicated as much.
And because he talked about it, she argued all the time. So a conversation, if you just even asking a simple question, he turned into an argument because that's how they were used to communicating with each other.
But you know what I like? I like the fact that you thought about the situation. You sat back and you said, you know what, he's nagging me. Where is this coming from? That's key, that you sat back and said, I want to know where this is coming from because I want this to work. So that's good that you asked that question. And that's what we have to do in relationships. When somebody is out of character or they're exhibiting certain behaviors, we need to have an understanding of where that behavior is coming from. And we need to ask the key questions, because that's what's going to let you know whether or not you're going to be compatible or not. Because if you ask certain questions and you find out this might be their nature, then that might be different. You understand? Yeah. So we can't just jump into relationship because they look good, they smell good, they made me feel good. They still might not be the one.
That's right, because the thing might stop working. So let's just be honest about some stuff.
We have high expectations, and we have high expectations, but they don't even necessarily have to be high. Like communication or communicating, that's not a high expectation. That's an expectation, but we don't know who they've been with prior. So for a lot of times a woman will be like, well, you've been in other relationships, you should know how to communicate by now. And again, here we are assuming that because they've been in other relationships, that they are automatically gonna know what to do and what to do with you. But if that's not their norm, then they don't know that. So by the time they with you and they doing the stuff that they always do, you do this. If you always do what you always done, you always gonna get the same results. Now they're doing it with you, and you looking like, well, what's who you been with before me? Like, if this is how you know, operate and run your life and argue whatever, I don't do that. But what we don't do is what Nisi said. Nisi asked and he shared. He didn't willingly give that information. He only shared after she asked. So we have to be like, hold up. Every time I turn around, the least little thing becomes an argument. What's at the bottom of that? Why is this
There's
happening?
a root for
There
everything,
is a
Fatima.
root.
Yeah.
There's a
And
root. But here's the thing. The answer lies with them. We don't know because we just got in a relationship with them. So this all of the stuff that they're displaying, we're like, what in the world? You know, we don't know. So we have to rely on them to communicate that to us so we can get a better understanding. Like the same thing with women. A man
Well,
don't know what we've been through. And if we don't tell them that when you do that, that triggers me, they're not going to know. They just don't walk in your life and automatically know. But those are the expectations that we have. You 60 years old, you should know how what a woman likes and what a woman thinks and all of that. That's not so, because we don't know their upbringing and we don't know their history with the other women before you. So that's not fair to them that we expect them to know.
I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point. But I got a question. I'm going to shift and ask this question because I got 2 men on here. What is y'all take in 2024 on the polyamorous choice that there is in society today? I'm going to eventually have some people really come on in here and talk about those different styles. What is
You
y'all?
asking 2 men?
Do tell.
They might be about monogamy.
Think very carefully about what you're about to say.
2 strong men. What you think they answer gonna be? You asking 2 strong men.
That question
I know what one of
about.
their answers better be.
They ain't been dibbing and dabbing. That's a show for something else. Matter of fact, the next show, guys, I'm gonna let you know. The next show is to find this girl a man. I got a show coming on with about 6 different men. Y'all 2 need to get on there to see who we gonna ask these questions. That's the next show. You're gonna ask 2 biting strong men how they fit.
What you talking about? The dating game for me?
Biting.
Woo, that's funny. No, but I want to know how you feel about polyamory, Anthony and Craig.
Huh?
How do you feel about the polyamorous lifestyle?
Hey, to each his own. I don't see a problem with it. If you know they communicate and they get along well, hey, go for it.
You said the same thing, Craig?
Yeah, do you? See, now what's interesting, now, how much, okay, talking about the first, not to change the question, I'm sorry. What's that, man?
A lot of people don't know what polyamorous means, so let me tell you why he's doing that.
Yeah.
Polyamorous is a form of ethical and consensual non-monogamy that involves romantic or sexual relationship with multiple partners at the same time.
That's what that means.
So it's people who are in relationship because they've agreed that they don't want to be with one person. One person is not enough. They are sharing one another. They live, a lot of them live in the same households. I've met quite a few people that are in these polyamorous relationships. Some of them are actually very successful. They have a working agreement with this relationship and how they do it. And I'm going to have them come on the show because it's amazing.
But isn't that what you were talking about earlier with living together and you're not involved with each other anymore?
No, because
isn't that similar to it?
You are together.
Yeah, polyamorous, they getting it in.
You still
they're getting it in with each other, but they're not getting it in. I mean, they're not getting it in with each other, but they're getting it in with others. So that may not be polyamorous, but that's
no, they're getting in with each other and others.
Everybody,
right,
everybody.
Right.
No, that's so.
Those are origins.
Okay, okay. So yeah, okay.
It's close. They're close.
Oh yeah, where I'm at right now, yeah, that's fine with me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and the major difference is it's consensual, it's agreed upon. Everybody know it ain't nobody lying or sneaking or secret.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
fine.
knows
Now
about
that's
it.
the part that I think is
Honorable.
admirable. That they actually all are coming to the table with
Get along.
they're
Okay,
working together.
so
Oh,
on
they
your
don't get
first date, why can't you say that? If that's what if you're okay with,
You can.
you're okay with it. Oh, I'm good. We good. I don't want to know
wouldn't ask
later
you.
when I come over and you got somebody sitting there and you like, well, I mean, we did say so who am I to judge? So whatever's good for you is good for you. It may not be good for me.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly. I want to know off top. I want to know day one. I'm monogamy, period. Anything other than that, I don't want it. So I need to know.
All I ask is, can I get my Viagra up first? Can I get my quantity up?
All right, bro. All right.
That's the funny thing, because a lot of time in 2024 we have to be more open-minded, guys. It not open-minded to changing our lifestyle.
Did you say open-minded?
Open-minded to what others are living. We have to be more open-minded to accepting. That's where the unconditional love comes in. We may have a child that may be in a situation like that. They may be in a same-sex relationship.
They poly all day.
That's what unconditional
Polly Wally doodle all the day.
love is. That's unconditional.
Crystal, you said be open-minded. Who got to be open-minded?
You just got to be open-legged.
You mean individuals?
Yes.
Not you, because I need to know some things now. Because let me take these notes.
I'm not open-minded.
I'm not getting in no poly. I'm totally monogamous. Okay.
No, I think Crystal, you meant to be open-minded so that you're not judgmental, right?
Right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what she was saying.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
It's have an open mind and a respect for what.
Y'all know back in the, you know how older people be like looking at the corner trying to see what you're doing. Craig,
Yeah.
what you doing?
You sitting on the toilet, man.
Man, take Crystal now. Take Anthony out. Wait a minute. Lord, this
I'm
one
actually
can't X-rated. Boy, Lord, you gonna lose your podcast.
I'm actually at the gym. Gym. I had to shower up first. I'm gonna go chill in the sauna and the hot tub in the steam room.
Oh,
so I gotta hang up.
Okay.
Well,
no, you don't. No,
oh, you want me to take y'all with me? Y'all want to come with me?
Hold up, bro. I'm a black out.
But team, I'm getting ready to roll in. I'm getting ready to roll in.
Hey,
I'm just kidding with everybody.
This is the first date, and I'm telling you all this. You see how this works sometimes? See?
This is the first date.
I'm gonna see y'all later though. I gotta go.
See you later, Craig. Thanks for joining.
Next time.
Love you, bro.
Stay safe, y'all, and Happy New Year.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Same to you, bro.
Okay, same to you.
What gym you at? No, I'm just kidding.
Let me tell you something.
Don't worry about it. No. See you later.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Craig.
Craig was running water.
That was fun.
I love
back. You know, back in the day, grandma, what is he doing?
Yeah, so Nisi, we're gonna have a dating game.
You getting hot, ain't you? Take your jacket off, Chris. This is okay. You know. Anthony.
Hey. Yeah, she was. See her camera kind of steamed up.
I appreciate y'all coming in. We're gonna be working this out, y'all. We're gonna have some fun, y'all. So
why we gotta hang up? That lets you know we ain't got nobody. Why we gotta go?
Catch the replay. This about to be a
y'all
good
know.
Williams.
Y'all know that when you come up, you have to make sure you got good light. I let you slide tonight, Fatima. You trying to get your mood right.
I'm in my bedroom, honey, and there is only one light. And
Lord,
it's in my ceiling.
Well, you gonna have
to get she only got one light.
I only get
ceiling
one light.
fan.
The green light.
Only one light though.
Is it the green light or the red
You
light?
can
Which
make
one
it
is it?
door for
Because
the
it ain't the
night,
yellow
but
light.
only one light though.
She
The
don't got
yellow one.
older. She ain't got no yellow light, so it must be the green light or the red light. Which
See,
light
ain't no
is it?
caution light.
Well, look.
Well,
Okay,
am I
wait. Let
that
me
dark,
get another
y'all? Because
question.
on my end,
I'll
I'm not
let you
dark.
funny.
Am I that dark?
Yeah, it's darker than
No,
everybody
you're
else.
not. You're not that dark.
You
No.
know,
I
we can
mean,
see
you
your
guys
face.
are got great light, but I didn't think. I think my complexion is blending in with the headboard. That's what it looked like to me on my end.
No, you trying to get the mood in. I understand.
Nigga made
It's all
door for a
right.
night.
Do
Only one
you?
Turn off
light
the
though.
lights
Yeah.
and light a
So what we want to
candle.
do? I really. I'm looking forward to some conversations we're gonna have with, like, the conversation with the people who've been married for like 10 and 15 and 20. Nisi, when you were married for how long with Ed?
29.
Yeah, so we was gonna have a
Wow.
conversation with people on how does that work? What makes you last that long for 29 years? But if there's somebody single out here watching this,
It's for the people.
what
Beat
would
a
you
nigga.
tell
No,
them?
I'm just kidding. It's getting late. I'm just
They
kidding.
together, they ain't happy all 30 years. They'll tell you that.
What would you tell them? What made you last 29 years?
We
Heard
went
what Michelle
through,
Obama
we
said.
grew up together. And when I say grew up together, we started 20s, 30s, 40s. So we went through our stages. There were separations. It was 20 plus years that there were years. And trust me, I think I'm going to say me, because I think if there were certain things that I could have done differently, and I hopefully thought maybe he have thought the same thing, because I got to say, because, he got a wife now, so I got to be nice, I feel that in relationships that long is just being open and honest. We had fun. We were a fun couple.
That's a good.
We laughed, we joked, we danced, we loved music, we loved animals. And we grew up together, so then we also grew apart.
I like the fact that you said you did things together. I think a lot of people get comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
We
that
dated.
still kept dating even over the years.
Mm-hmm.
You did things, surprised one another. I remember during my marriage when we did the thing on Halloween, and I dressed up into a costume, and he dressed up into a costume, and we had to
you were a
meet each
call
other.
girl.
Well, no, we had to go. We had to meet at the place and spot each other. We had to find each other. We didn't know what the other person was wearing, so that was a good one, because that's how you find out if you know their mannerisms, if you know how they sit, if you know how they stand, if you know how they
Walk,
do.
yeah.
Crystal,
So that
you
was really
tall. He
good.
gonna
So
know
I
it was
looked
you.
for a while. I was like, dang, I think that's him. He was like, I think that's her.
Say Krista coming at 6'4". She's the only 6'4"
She's
woman in
6'4",
the house.
everybody else 5'3". I know that's
said,
her.
know those you neighbor amongst.
No, but that's
those
what you
you
gotta do, guys. You gotta be creative. You gotta be creative. You gotta be creative in the bedroom. Let's keep it real. You gotta be creative. You can't do the same old missionary every time.
You can't put this on, because my mama gonna get me.
Girl, you're gonna have to edit this last part.
I'm trying to see Craig. My mom gonna be like, I can't believe you did that. And you know that people at the church gonna see this. She gonna make me walk out this wheelchair. Come on, son.
Hey, did you know that Anthony was a stand-up comedian too?
She knew that.
I didn't know that.
You knew that too. You seen your moment. Yes, you did. You been on. Yes, you did. You just had.
She didn't say you had a moment. She said it was a senior moment.
Okay, the hell with you.
They both got birthdays coming up too. They both back to back.
Body blow, body blow.
I got my AARP card. That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
How old will you be, Crystal?
AARP card.
How old will you be?
64.
Okay.
Everybody, let me say this. She's 64 and she's singled. Okay? You got to at least, because she ain't no 6'2" and 6'1". She just 5'10" and some change. I need you to understand that. And she don't wear high heels, so you can be 6 feet. Because she ain't gonna wear that many, so she okay. Might be 5'11". You might could be 5'7" and be at the right spot and help her out. So I mean, Anthony, did you see what I said? You might could be 5'7" and help her out. That might keep her happy. But look, what I'm saying. Lord Jesus, Mama, please don't see. Lord.
Look, Niecy, I'm laying hands. Where your forehead at?
But guys, we're gonna have another episode of this story time to find Crystal Bodie Smith a date. For the next 30 days, I'm gonna allow her to date every week. We need some people to put in
the chat.
First of all, my name is Niecy Douglas. Meet me on Facebook if you're interested in Crystal. Now, she talked about that other thing. I ain't got nothing to do with that, but I'm taking the men folks for. I don't know nothing about that other thing. She talking about keep it all together in the family.
Probably.
Please let her find somebody because she done lost her mind. So I'm asking everybody to please DM me if you want to date her.
You are silly. She is a mess.
I'm serious. She needs somebody soon. I need to take off my taxes. I carried her for a long time on my taxes. This is enough. It's enough now.
Now, see, speaking of taxes,
I'll be on a panel of judges when we doing the going through and the reading the bios and all of that.
Oh
I'll
my!
Be on a panel.
Oh Lord, this gonna be good, and Anthony gonna pick him. Yes, won't he do it? And we can have Craig there too. All he gotta do is be in the shop.
I treat him just like I do my daughters and my nieces, man.
Wow.
Lord, you ain't gonna get no dates now.
No,
girl.
Lord, you gonna scare them away.
Hey, if they need to be scared away, they're gonna get scared away.
That's it.
We are honestly, all jokes aside, we are taking DMs. Become my friend, Niecy Douglas, if you want to date Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm serious.
Do we need to get the auction block or something like that?
35, 45, 45,
$2. No.
Lord,
go to the 5-foot man over there.
If you got food stamps, you gotta eat. It don't matter.
No.
Guys, we just kidding.
How many stamps can I get for $35?
Lord Jesus. See what happens when you get two comedians on here that don't know how to act.
But all jokes aside, we need to do this for February. Who wants to be her date for her birthday? That'll be the prize.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Date for you know what? I don't think I've been on a blind date. Have I been on a blind
date for CBS on her birthday? Oh, that would be nice.
Date for CBS.
Fatima, write the words up because you said some words on here tonight. I don't know what you're talking about, but write them out because I got to go look them up. But you need to, and don't get too deep because if they don't know the words for Fatima, then that's gonna let us know something. So it's okay.
I'm looking for Crystal. Can't do it right now.
We ask that if you have all your top teeth. If you ain't got the box,
Well, I just had a flashback of us being on a Zoom and Anthony was cutting up, acting like he was the Chinese people at the nail salon, and we got in trouble. We got in trouble because we let him cut up on there.
Wow.
I'll date the girl.
That is so crazy. Yeah, both of y'all. I wonder that would be something. Both of y'all get to cutting up. That would.
My mama's 61 and you 64. That'd be real nice, ma'am.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. A date for Crystal for her birthday. You can have 3.
Why gotta be all for me? Why can't be
3 dates? No, Crystal. Now I don't told you, guys. I'm sorry. She getting the other side of me because it's getting late. I don't told you. I need to take my medicine, but I don't told you. I'm tired of you trying to go find everybody else. Somebody. I need somebody to roll in with you. I don't need you to roll by yourself.
I know that's right.
Roll out.
I know that's right.
Roll out.
Have a beat.
Roll
Have your
out.
passport, please.
Have your passport. Did you hear that? Have your passport. Now that's one of the requirements. She said, have your passport. Don't let it be expired in 2 months. Have your passport.
No, not in 6 months. It needs to be.
What if he don't have a passport and he might be the one?
And he's willing to go get it. He just can't. He just come.
See, there you go. There you go. Be quiet. I just need you to be quiet. This ain't about you right now. This is about us having the show. We just gonna use your show
to be the foundation.
To be the foundation of what we want to put together. And everybody, I'm gonna have my hair done then. And I'm gonna look nice, but I'm asking everybody to DM Niecy Douglas or Fatima Smith or Anthony. Anthony on Facebook. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Lord, tell me Anthony's last name. I'm having to see him.
Yes, I am. Wade.
Oh, Wade. In the water.
I'm on
Anthony Wade. Everyone, I am asking. It might sound like I'm begging, but I am. She need to have a date for her birthday.
Yeah. You making it sound kind of desperate.
Yeah, like really, like
yeah.
He ain't had a date in ages. If we're gonna keep it real, no, you haven't. Well, yes, you did. You did. Somebody took you out for breakfast. They did. That was nice. But even if you want to take her again, you can, sir. But we gonna find you a date.
Ooh, child, that's too funny. That is too
Oh yeah, we got some questions for you.
Don't pay her no mind.
No, pay us some mind. We telling you the truth. The truth will set you free. We just see now she lying. We just told you to be honest.
Do you get monthly pedicures?
Ooh, child.
Yes, she does.
So next
no, the
man.
Oh.
He can't have no scratchy, nasty feet.
No,
we ain't trying to get in the bed.
No. Next Wednesday, we'll be back.
You ain't got to get in the bed. He can sit down and take his shoes and socks off, watching a movie.
And all of a sudden you see all of a sudden you see a hill and a mountain.
But listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy that you came through here tonight. These cut-ups are a mess. They are a mess. I want to tell you though, check me out this Sunday, y'all. This Sunday, 8 p.m. I will be interviewing Coach George Williams.
That's my old coach.
Check that out. Y'all want to make, that's right. You ran track too, didn't you? Y'all want to make sure that y'all check this show out. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I need for you to definitely be prepared. It's going to be a good one. And if you have a story and you want to be on story time, just let us know. But we had a good time tonight. We want to open up the floor to have some grown folk conversations. You can send your questions in if you have something that you'd like us to discuss. I was so excited that the young lady wanted to join us. She said she enjoyed the conversations we were having on Facebook.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was good.
And so
that was really good.
That just goes to show you that they're watching. There are people out there who need guidance. There are people out there who have questions. There are people out there who want to share what they've been through. And if you would like to share, we want you to share with us. Yes, ma'am.
Can I request something? Can we have Janice Howard on here to talk about dating online? Because she got a man.
So can she? What is she going to talk about?
Her man can come with her to help to interview these people with us for you.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be good? Because you be meeting them online. You keep me busy.
Ooh, it's funny. I meet him in person too. I meet him in the airport.
I don't know. I think it's time to black out Niecy's screen.
Okay. She getting out of control, ain't she, Anthony? She getting out of control.
Telling all your business too.
Out of control. Well, no, she's a comedian, y'all. If y'all didn't know, go Google her. Okay, comedian Ma Dukes. Seriously,
that ain't me.
Yeah, and then you'll see what we have been blessed to have between the two of them. I really didn't remember Anthony, so you got to send me some footage, man. I'd like to see that.
That's on because you like to hear Anthony sing.
Yeah, Anthony, we might have to, we get, if we get a couple that meets on our show or something like that, we may have to have you sing at the wedding.
We're talking about you.
You're talking about Crystal's wedding?
What's your budget?
Well, guys, I tell you what, I appreciate y'all coming in here.
She worked for the airlines. It'd be reasonable for them to fly.
Going on 3 hours. We're going to get off of here tonight.
With them Frankenstein feet.
She come with benefits. She come with benefits. Y'all better act like you know.
How much is a ticket to Texas?
I want to go to Ghana.
And you was gonna book her anyway.
Let me put a disclaimer out there. Well, you know what? I started to put a disclaimer: no men from another country. But those Nigerian men, though, some of them are, they.
Oh my goodness!
I ain't really into the Nigerian African men. They have to have a United States swag. They can't have an accent. They gotta speak English. What
do you mean they can't have an accent?
Not like a hard accent.
You still have an accent when you be saying you from. You still have an accent when you say you from New York and you've been here 29 years.
That's different. That's a New York accent. They can have that.
What are you talking about? So why they can't have the accent?
They can't have
Uganda.
They can't speak a language.
Are you telling me I can talk to I talk and you can talk to New York?
Yes, that's right.
I don't know what she talking about.
You gotta be alone. You gotta be alone.
They can't speak a language. What is she talking
about? She's such a pretty woman, but she's so confused. She's confused.
You want man, you won't man. You know man, no man. I don't know. I can't do you.
I don't have to talk to you.
What are we gonna do with them, Fatima?
They're crazy.
We don't have to talk.
Oh my God. Guys, thank y'all so much for joining us. You have been watching Story Time. Send us a message if you want to come in. We're working on this. Tonight was a good trial. I appreciate everybody who came in. I appreciate those who popped in. Charles, the young lady. It was a young lady. What was in there? No, not on the camera. I'm talking about the people in the comment. Miss Tanya Lindsay. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. To Tanya, I don't know where you are. I know Charles is in California. Kennard came in. Thank you for coming in, Kennard. We've had a couple people that came in, but
Tanya's from Tanya.
No, that's another young lady. Her last name is Lindsay. But what I'm saying is there have been people that tried to connect, but they couldn't. I had somebody to email me and say, why can't I talk? So just remember, when we do this again, just click the link and just come on in. Just be camera ready. Don't be shy. We'll give you your time.
Come on.
And I like the other picture when she looking sexy. I got another picture though for her. Y'all comment. I'm gonna have one where how she look when she wake up.
How I look when I wake up. I'm natural. I'm
Accept me as I am, not glammed.
I'm natural. You're gonna get.
Hello.
You're not.
Good morning.
But check us out, y'all. Sunday, 8:00. Y'all come and show some love.
Share, subscribe. Subscribe to her channel. And the potential mate have had to have gone and listened to Story Time and have had to know something about her. We're gonna see how much you know about her. And
got his feet did.
YouTube channel. You might be the one.
Don't come around here with them crusty cookie cutter feet. Get them nails clipped and them feet shaved.
I just want to rub through your hair.
She's like, don't touch the dreads, don't touch the locks.
Oh, Jesus.
No, put your socks back on.
You can run your finger through the hair.
That's what I was about to ask you. Do you?
Oh, she's saying that now.
You don't mind?
She's saying that y'all can rub the finger through the hair now.
Oh yeah, you can. I take them loose for you and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah.
I'll take them loose for you. I'll do it.
Anthony, I do hair. I got nitty. I got little upsilons.
I used to do my own. See.
Lord Jesus.
Right,
Guys,
right.
She
we're gonna
can
see you
go
next
free.
time, same place on
Why we
Story
can't
Time.
have one of those cups?
Story Time. You see that right there? Story Time.
Why
Story
we can't
time.
have one?
You about to
You
order
can.
all
I'm
two
going
of
to
us,
get
huh?
some product. I'm going to get some product. I'm working on that, so we'll get some stuff together. You know,
How much are they?
I don't remember really.
How you gonna let
I
us
got,
buy some and you don't know the price?
you know, that's a good question. So I'm not gonna misquote it. I'm just being honest. Cause I bought it for me, but I said, you know what, I need to do this. So I'm gonna go back and look because
Do you have T-shirts for big people,
t-shirts for everybody.
or
Yeah.
do I have to buy two to sew them
Fade the
together?
black. Crystal, fade the black.
Y'all ain't gotta turn me off. I turn my own self off. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. I turn my own self and I mute myself.
No. That's how you get turned off.
Right.
That's how you get turned off. I
Crystal
take
don't
shit
play
all
with
the way.
Come to
That's
that.
how
You
you
put
get
your
turned off.
screen to
Is you
white if
go
you
all
want
the
to.
way.
You cut you off.
Oh Lord.
Now, this what happens when you get old and you don't have nothing to do, y'all. This is what happens when you do this. Like,
I got something to do. I got a phone call to make. I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
oh, peace. Oh, hell.
Mom, just kidding.
Just
Oh Lord.
All right, it's been real. We'll get together, we'll strategize, and we'll talk about. We're coming back next Wednesday, y'all. Next Wednesday. Tell your friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend to meet us
you
next
up
Wednesday.
there.
Have a grown folk conversation here. Come get your laugh on. Come have a good time. Come get it off
Did
your
he say
chest.
Wakanda forever?
Love, peace, and soul.
Soul.
You caught
All
it?
right, y'all.
You
Peace
supposed to
out.
be
Thank
like
you for
this.
joining. We'll see you next time on Story Time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
No.